Hey everybody, it's Alessio coming at you before the episode with a very, very special two-part message. Part number 1. The show officially ends and releases its last episode on November 22nd. Part of that episode is going to include some very, very special messages from a lot of our friends, and it wouldn't be complete without you guys. So, you have until November the 15th to send us your final words for Metal Gear Mondays. You can record yourself and send it to me via MP3, MOV, MP4, HEIC, DNxHD, OGG, FLAC, WAVE, .FLV, MDMA, PHD, PDF, or JPEG, whatever you can encode audio onto. Or just write me an email. The easiest way to get that to us as quickly as humanly possible is going to be for you to email me at alessio@alessiosummerfield.com. Again, that is Alessio, ALESSIO, at alessiosummerfield, just how it sounds, .com. One last thing, I am going to go through and give a very, very special thank you to everybody who has ever patronized this show. I'm going to try and do it quickly, and I'm also going to just cover my ass even more and shout out a very special thank you to all of our current Discord server members. This is my version of the poker rap. I apologize if I screw up your name. I just want to give thanks where thanks is due, and you guys have supported us for a very long time. Here we go. Thank you so much. Joseph Burtis, Raul, Emilio Rojas, Johnny Flores Jr., James Davis, Joseph Flores, James Platt, Lee Yarker, NTH Soccer 4206, Sam Sherritt, Lloyd Passay, 69-420 Lake Tori R, James Moose, Darcy Susan, I'm so sorry, Alex Sinado, Dinos, Sam B, Professional Consumer, Nate Peterson, Renato Cueva, Jack Falvey IV, CJ Garcia, CJ Garcia, James Moose, As If Khan, Killer Seymour, 1GP, Gina Sink, Chris Stokes, Justin Egan, Stacey Hoffman, Greg Purcell, Eric Morris, Evan Cortez, Ruben Blanco, Alex H, Alex Vergara, Bean Boy, James Chichon, Sean, Thomas Moose, Samuel VA, Warren Minix, Mr. Gross, Alexi Irola, Jason Zarniak, Brent, Ben Hayden, Nico Vonios, Danny Cooler, Dragonhide, Charity Gage, Crux, James Barron, Am Ibrahim, Chris, Chad Edridge, Cody Coates, Caitlin Connor, John Johnson, Tyler Washington, Alex Kennedy, Mark Arden, David Gonzalez, Cody, Rob Lath, Greg, John Roth, Justin Norton, Kiao Vicentini, Joey Daggerville, Adam Gard, Mr. W, Nebula 487, Joshua James, Dave, Matt, Jagger Civic, I am so sorry, JR, Titchy, Jesus Christ, I'm 7 Chris Hampton, James Baldwin, Winfrey Casters, Tio Alex, Mitch Hines, Simon Lee, Sean Loser, I that feels weird to say, Frederick G, Ethan Chin, Chine Chin, Keith Reynolds, Aaron Good, Ben Lewis, Chase Cortez, Will Frechette, Francisco Golas, Rhett L. Clayton, and Rick Ness, Brandon Parks, Lee Mike Jr., Matt, Toby Rothenborg, Asif Khan again, No Super Effects Podcast, Michael E. Nilsson, Jeffrey Steele, Nick Ziegler, Dean, Tyler Nunez, Tom Scully, Sam Lemke, Rachel Frank, Will Boyer, The One and Only, Tori Cortez, Cody Brady, River B, 210, Scott Fox, Brandon Wright, Jake Christopher, Sam Whitaker, Craven Knight, Nick Freda, Devin Reed, Kyle, Andrew F., Curate Bergman, Joshua Wiley, Cole Duncan, Matt Laginovich, Jackie Boy, Adam Radbury, David Linden, Matt Smith, Alejandro Conseco, Andres Garcia Jr., Benjamin Bleeding Mask, Brian Surratt, Daryl Palumbo, Dean Dale, Italian Joe, Kane Adams, Ed Brown, Stephen P., and here we go very quickly with the patrons. Flanders Davis, Sam Gill, Jesse Fox, Donald the Dam, Token Flip Guy, Apollo, My Big Boy ME6, My Big Boy Me6, Monitor RS, Simple Pole, Charlie Traska News, Sports Chairman of the Dojo Clan, Kira H, Alex S, Ancient Blunted, 420 DC, Bald, Ben, Bubbles, Calvin Centini, CJ Gracias, Cole Duncan, Craven Knight, Rosa, Dissolving, Elvubio, Faces Former, Flaming Ship, Flaming 2.5, Gigasips, Glinder, Grackles, Half Fun Gamer, Hellcat Rage, Henry, Incenton B, Jason, Jamie Joshua, JB, Jessica, Jamie Singer, Joey Daggerville, Johnny Force, Josh Mace, Cody AK, Sylvie Johnson, Lincoln 64, The Metal Mike, LP Snakes and No One, Marinette Time, Matt Jockey 83, Matt, Sky Odyssey, MGS5 is really good, Mikey Nitzak, Mr. Honeyman, Mr. Croaks, Opto 332, Nick, Final Fantasy 007, Rada, Original Shez, Patreon, Pax Hamburg, Ghana, Ferb 911, Fithalo Blue, PS Chat, Arclato, Rain, Rebound, Sean's brother, Odor, Stay Hip, Potato Chip, Tio Alex, The Blue, Tom Who's changed his name, Tori the Fiance, Millie Gorilla, Walter Fang, Snoop Goof, and your best friend Sean Zach James, and Ziggy Snacky Dust. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for all of the support and love. That was very long, I apologize everybody. Now let's get to the opening skit. Bye! Oh god, holy shit! Who knew that Tori and Warren would make for such heavy corpses? Jesus Christ. God damn it.
Excuse me, boy. What's your chum come catched in their set dripping with blood for?
Excuse me?
I said, what you boozing guts and Benghazi got to do to pee pee poo poo and let that sack man with the glove?
I believe what my friend is saying is ACAB.
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 ACAB. Get in the car, you big dum-dum. It's us.
Oh my god, I haven't seen you guys since the Renton City Retro 300 years ago.
You definitely saw me after that, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. You saw me too. Jeez. I'm a little upset over here.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like a really bad friend.
Listen, it's alright. We've all been bad friends. Bad friends to the listeners. Right, Isaac?
Yo, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, we might as well record since we're all here, right?
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay.
Guys, sorry, one last thing. Have you guys ever considered the fact that somebody might be listening to this right now who has no idea who we are?
Baby.
What is it for?
I need a tissue.
Let me blow my nose on all this Patreon money that we don't have.
Oh no.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome to another episode of Metal Gear Mondays, the #1 Metal Gear podcast on the internet, covering all things Metal Gear from top to bottom, left to right, inside and out, in pseudo-historical recreational order. As I once was, I am now your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I'm joined by...
Sam Wright. It's me, your boy.
And...
Ray Romano. AKA
That's actually
Isaac.
that's our super secret guest for this finale.
Ray Romano.
Isaac, I have a question for you real quick before we get started.
Oh yes.
Can you tell us what we did on the last episode?
Really quickly, in a segment I like to call Fumbling in the Dark with Isaac Lim.
Well, if you guys are gonna do inhales, then I will do an inhale. I believe it was about 2, maybe 3 years ago at this point.
Something like that. So Alessio and I had this conversation like about a week ago, and I actually found what the last episode we were on was.
Don't tell him yet.
I'm not going to tell him. No, I'm not going to tell him. I just want, just for the pressure, I want him to know that I know that he doesn't know, but I know.
Well, I know that secretly he really does know, and he's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
All right, Isaac, what happened?
You guys are giving me too much credit.
Hold on. Hey, Alessio, cue the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music here.
Oh, man. Flashbacks. What did we do last time, fellas? Did we play video games?
Not last time.
Did we go on a scavenger hunt?
No.
Not
I'm so unprofessional on this episode. I'm sorry.
Did we?
We did not
talk to people?
Each other. Yeah.
Was there crying?
Typically.
Okay. Yeah. All right, it's all coming back to me.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So last time what we did was we discussed our most primal fears and how we could overcome that as human beings.
How close was he, Sam?
Not. I mean, I guess it depends on how afraid you were of Marianne Williamson becoming the president in 2016.
Oh shoot!
Oh my God! In 2016,
I think that was 2016
no.
episode. Yeah, because it was before.
I wonder if it got released. Did it get released late? Because there's no way that the last time Isaac was on was 4 years ago. 5 years ago.
5 years ago. That can't be right. Sam, do your research.
I'm doing some research.
Wait, wasn't she running for 2020?
Was she?
Yeah, she was running for 2020, and weren't they? Because they were doing all the debates and stuff like a year or 2 years prior.
Yeah, so it might have been 2018 then. So not quite as severe. Isaac.
I was about to be like, dude, we've been doing this show for too fucking long.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't 2016 because what the fuck? The show had was only a year old at that point.
Well, so, and I think we talk about this in another segment, but when we reposted everything off of the Geek Time feed onto its own dedicated feed, I think all the dates got screwed up. So Spotify says the first episode was like November of 2017 or something. Yeah, it's like September of 2015 or something crazy.
So the last episode Isaac was on was August 7th, 2019. It was an Outer Op, Marianne Williamson or Metal Gear, where we quizzed him on whether or not a quote was from Marianne Williamson, the Democratic potential candidate for presidency of the United States in 2020, or from Metal Gear. And Isaac actually didn't do. He got 17 out of 20, which is pretty good.
Dude, spoilers for the episode. I mean, I'm trying to trick Zoomers into going back in time and listening to these old fogies, okay?
Are you kidding me? Zoomers don't listen to podcasts. All they do is do TikToks, eat hot chip, and lie.
Yeah. Exactly those things.
In that order. Exactly in that order.
Cool. Well, so before we floss our way to the next TikTok, I don't know what the fuck.
They don't do that anymore.
Shush. Let me have this, Sam.
Sorry.
We're the three for Halloween. You, me, and Isaac should be the three card playing old dudes that are in every episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
I love that.
Which, speaking of that, did you see that Entertainment Weekly released a picture of John Cho's Spike walking down the street, and they're actually in the background of the shot.
Oh, thank God!
It's
That's
really
so
funny.
I'm trying really hard to not get too hyped, but me and Kristen watched the intro, and like legitimately, we were fucking way too hyped.
It's so weird to me because like a lot of it looked great, but a lot of it also looked like a really like high end cosplay.
Yeah.
Fan made video.
It feels like they're towing the line, like they're doing like the sort of goofy, kitschy, like 70s throwback thing.
Yeah, like if it's just like really pulpy and like kitschy and whatever, I can handle that. But I really all I wanted is to be good.
Yeah,
I just want it to be good.
I just want Ed. But moving.
I just want Ed. Well, they also welcome to Cowboy Bebop.
Welcome to Cowboy Beat Boop.
The director or whoever, the writer or whatever, said that they purposely didn't include Ed in all of the promo stuff because they want people to be pleasantly surprised and happy about Ed's reveal.
Huh.
So
Ed is the actor who plays the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Somebody said in the comments of that article that was Danny DeVito.
Oh no. All right, well so we have a series of round tables coming up. So let's set the table. Let's set the table real quick. So let me go get the silverware and the napkins.
Yeah. Alyssa, can you cue dishes sound effects here, please?
Yeah, of course. Whoops, I dropped all those dishes. Broken all over the floor.
Oops, all glass.
But yeah, so essentially what we thought would be a really fun idea, us and our 7 other housemates, because this is like a potluck family reunion at the rec center right now.
Yeah, seriously.
There's fucking Grandpa Sam's here. Oh yeah, Old Man Sam.
Who's that talking?
Yeah, here, old man. What are you doing?
I just wanted to be on the podcast.
Fuck you, old man. Get out of here. Fuck that guy. I'm tired of him.
Damn.
God.
Disrespectful.
Disrespect your elders.
Not disrespectful. He tried to steal
the podcast.
Your pie?
My TV remote.
Perfect. So we are doing a series of roundtables featuring different eras from the entire tenure of the show. Mm-hmm. So if you've been listening since the beginning and you're still here, oh my God.
Why?
Yeah, why? If you're a new listener who jumped in like at a certain point, like if you're only familiar with, I've actually noticed there's quite a few people that are only familiar with Death Stranding onward. So if you're one of those people and you only know Alessio from creeping in the Discord and occasionally being on like a one
random goodbye episodes, like who's this weirdo?
Yeah. So if you know me specifically as Ghost Dad, then you'll get to hear a lot of other hosts you've never heard of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
including Isaac Lim.
Yeah, correct. Who I would say
the heart and soul of the Metal Gear Mondays podcast, some might say.
Yes, Isaac is the ghostest dad of the podcast.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Isaac, can we expect a tweet from Doesn't Have a Twit to mark this occasion?
Oh,
we gotta save it for the end. We can't.
Okay. They may have shut my account down.
Yeah, we gotta let them. It
could happen between any of these.
It really could. You never know when a tweet from doesn't have a twit is gonna happen. So you gotta really.
We're gonna be those annoying motherfuckers where it's like right after this commercial break, we might find out what Isaac tweets. Stick around. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing that a lot, but there's some big boy episodes. So like we're recording this. We're recording in a weird order, so I already know half of what's going to happen essentially, and they're very long.
He's like the watcher of the Metal Gear Mondays universe.
Yes, and so there's a lot of really good meaty content here, and it's not just like silly banana shenanigans. It's it's there's a lot of good shit. There's a lot of reminiscing, a lot of I really wish that this would have happened, or hey,
True.
like yada yada yada, or I appreciate this now more because of blah 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 blah. But anyway, morals aside, we are going to segue into our OG Metal Gear Mondays 1.0 roundtable. I will say this: so if you hear anybody who is absent during any of this stuff, invitations were given to everybody who's ever hosted. And so if somebody's absent, it is not a slight. It is we did our due diligence and never heard back.
Yeah.
So
yes,
because they died.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, too. So we are later in this season because we're planning out like 4 weeks of content. You will be hearing from like friends, fans, maybe some family. But some of those like recurring guests and stuff may or may not be a part of these like roundtables. So just it could be anybody. This is the Smash Ultimate of Metal Gear Monday.
Everybody's here except for some.
But yeah, so let us using the magic of technology, we're going to hear music that represents each era of Metal Gear Mondays. And let's go back in time. We're here. It's September 2015. Alessio lives in St. Louis, and he's got these other two gentlemen that are present to record. And there's not a third gentleman, but there's maybe a dog outside. But there are some gentlemen, and those gentlemen are named Sam. Hey, Sam, if you could pick one pattern and 2 colors to decorate your personal Metal Gear, which would it be?
Red, blue, flannel.
And Isaac, if you could live anywhere in the Metal Gear universe, where would it be?
In a box.
Amazing.
Dang it! Oh shoot!
Amazing. And round table question, but it's I'm just going to introduce myself again. My name is Alessio. If 2 characters in the Metal Gear universe were to start a podcast about Metal Gear Mondays, who would it be? I feel like Otacon is the obvious answer. So, Christopher Randolph is starting a podcast. Do you think Snake would sit down and have a podcast with Otacon? I don't think he would.
I think Snake would, but he would talk less than Isaac does.
Yes. There'd be a lot of cigarette smoking sounds.
Yeah.
I think
sounds of cigarette being smoked in the background. Loud ethereal whooshing.
I feel like Mei Ling and Otacon would have a podcast.
Yeah,
I would enjoy that.
Yeah. You know what I think too? I think Nastasha would probably have a podcast.
For sure.
Like she would leverage her like writing career into like a tell-all podcast where she would have like people that were influential in the time of the incident on to talk about like
Genome Soldier number 12, 17, and 36.
Yeah,
could be
the
ladies of Metal Gear.
The ladies of Metal Gear, Isaac. Isaac, you horn dog. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Am I right?
Or
wow, we took that in very different directions. Editing is going to be a nightmare. A quick random aside: did Nastasha ever get a 3D model?
I don't think so. I don't know if I've only ever seen the drawing of her.
Does she have a body?
Well, she had a body, yada 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 yada. But
no.
You like that, Zoomers? I got you. I'm back. But she had a body, but I don't think like it was.
Yeah,
just
she had like
drawing.
a sketch. Oh, she's Ukrainian.
The Ukrainians. That's not a real place.
All right, cool. So yeah, roundtable. Looking into the future. The way that these are sort of handled is like I'll kind of throw out some questions, kind of help steer the conversation. But besides that, it's pretty much No rules.
Free-flowing.
Let's talk. Yeah.
Applebee's, no rules, just right, baby.
Yeah, baby. What are those things called? Chimmy cheesecakes?
What did you
What?
just call me?
Applebee's has a dessert called a chimmy cheesecake, and
What
it's
is
like
that?
it's like a
It's
churro
like a
filled with
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
Oh,
I
I was
see
thinking of
what I was thinking
chimichanga.
was like a chimichanga, like a cheesecake filled chimichanga, which I would
It's
eat.
kind of like that.
That-
It's very good.
Actually sounds delicious.
It's
Yeah.
quite good.
Applebee's has a really quick, because we're talking about Applebee's. Applebee's has like a satellite place that sells Cheetos wings. I made a YouTube video about it. YouTube.com/Sam vs. Sam. Go check it out.
That was the
Sorry.
most seamless
Nice.
plug I've ever heard
Nice.
on the podcast.
Thank you.
But yeah, so let's start. So we're the ones who can talk about where this all started, which I
Mhm.
think gives us a unique perspective. So, and we've probably talked about it to death on this show before, but I'm trying to kind of get into, I guess, like a mental headspace that maybe we haven't explored before. So, like, let's talk about like where we each were in our lives at the time. So, like,
Oh no.
oh no. So, and obviously, like, share what you want to share. You don't have to like go
Yeah.
crazy. But like, yeah. So Sam and I had been podcasting for a while. For people who don't have not already been told the story a million times, Sam and I had been podcasting for a while already. Isaac and I had been really good friends for a really long time, and I think we were all just kind of looking for something to do. I had just moved. I think it was only like a year or two into me moving, so I was like very isolated, very lonely, and I was just looking for something fun to do with my friends who lived far away. And so I think we were like trying to figure out. We were like, yeah, I think Sam and I joked around about doing a Final Fantasy podcast for a long
Oh
time.
my god. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we were like, we should do a podcast where every season is a different Final Fantasy, and we just cover it for like 20 episodes or something.
That would have been a fucking nightmare.
Well,
oh my
and
god.
so speaking of that, fucking friend of the show, Nick Freda, and
Yeah.
old host Cameron Hill tried
Yeah.
to do that and got burned out after like 6 months.
Yeah. So it
'Cause
was a grindcore.
Yeah. They did they did like Chrono Trigger, Deus Ex, a couple other games. But yeah, I just remember like they went really hard and then just kind of like burned out into the sky like a shooting star. But yeah, and Nick will be on later to talk about that too, which is cool. But yeah, so I don't know. That's where I was. Sam, Isaac, I'm curious about like kind of where you guys were.
Isaac, you want to go? Or do you want me to go?
I will try to recall. So I had always wanted to play the Metal Gear games, I guess, but it always felt so daunting. And I guess I had told Alessio that at some point, and
And I never forgot it.
and maybe that's what triggered it. The initial idea of like two people that haven't played and two people that have.
Yeah, because by the time because Metal Gear Solid 5 had like just come out around the time we started doing the show, right?
Yeah.
And so you already had, because I'm pretty sure it came out in like September of 2015. And maybe, I don't know.
Oh no, you're totally right. Literally, oh no, September 1, 2015 was the Japanese release date.
Gotcha. Okay. So.
Oh no, worldwide. Holy shit, dude, you like nailed that.
Hell yeah. So like I get what you mean by daunting, because by that point, all aside from fucking Survive, all of the Metal Gear games had come out by that point. So it's just like this big wall of lore that you had heard about, obviously because you're friends with Alessio, but like
nonstop.
Yeah, but it was just hard to parse, really, because I remember, because at the time, Geek Time has gone through a lot of like ownership quote changes, because it started.
You mean like this show?
yeah. Because it started as a Geek Time production. And then Geek Time kind of came to an end, and then it moved over under Forever an Astronaut for a while. And then
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then it just became like its own weird side entity. And after that. So, but I remember it started as a Geek Time production, and Alessio at the time was writing articles about Metal Gear, like retrospective articles called Metal Gear Mondays. And Geek Time was like, that's how I met Alessio, was Tony Cook at Auburn. Fucking runs into a club room, I guess, one day, because Alessio was like the guy who started the New Media Club, and Tony was just like, I've heard of this guy. Let me see if he wants to write for our website, Geek Time.
Yeah, what a weird.
So strange, and
totally predicated on the fact that Alessio doesn't know how to say no to people. So instead of being like, "Oh, you fucking nerd, get out of here," I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah. What do you need?"
There's like a Marvel What If style like episode where Alessio did say no to Tony, and I never met you guys. Yeah.
I'm just a
fucking nerd.
Get out of here! I'll give you a wedgie. And then I flick my cigar in his face.
Yeah,
Jock smokes cigars.
I just remember we had like 8 or 9 writers, and the only people that were writing anything was me and Alessio, and then like somebody would like throw in like a weird thing every so often, and then Jordan, whenever he wanted to like up his press badges, would write a dumb article.
By somebody, do you mean Aaron?
Yeah. But like the focus for a while, we were just doing like the podcast, and God, if I never hear the word fucking niche again, oh my fucking God, we had so many discussions about finding our niche and what we wanted to do. But we had success with Metal Gear because it was just like, it was a market that hadn't really been tapped at that point. But when we kind of started pulling back on the articles, Alessio was just like, what do you think about doing this article series as a podcast and roping in people who haven't played it before to talk to us about it? And I was just like, hell yeah, let it roll. And then we did. Here we are.
Yeah, it was crazy because I think it was going on in tandem with Jabbertron, which was like the weird husk of a show that was left after Geek Time.
Yeah.
It was going on in tandem, and I just remember being like, oh, well, you know, in my mind, I was like, yeah, it's weird. You like unlocked something when you just said that, Sam, but like we had struggled for years. Mm-hmm. Like I cannot overstate it, for years to be like, we know people are listening. Because we never fucking knew. Like, we didn't know if people were listening. We thought we were just putting our time in a toilet, essentially.
We had like 5 people we knew were listening. Like we had like, because Nick Freda was listening to like back in the Geek Time days. Remember Tyler Courtney and like
Nick Freda. Are you sure?
Yeah, well he was definitely, because
well, Nick said he found MGM because of Watch Out for Fireballs.
I'm trying to fit the timeline because we had Nick on an episode of like the Geek Time podcast. I'm pretty sure it was like right at the end of Geek Time. Like it was right when like we had no idea what the fuck was going on, and we were just kind of getting ready to close. But I'm pretty sure Nick was like like tail end of Geek Time listener.
Maybe, because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if we like resurfaced it or.
Who knows?
Yeah, but time, man.
Yeah, time is fake. If 2020 and 2021 have taught me anything, time is non-existent.
Yeah,
and isn't worth a shit.
It was so weird though, because it was such a driving. I mean, it was everything. Like for some reason, we had just kept. It felt like we were doing like Sam. Tell me if I'm crazy. It felt like we were doing the same fucking episode of a podcast, and we were like redoing it every time. Like that's what it felt like to be on the Geek Time podcast. Was it felt like we were doing the same episode over and over and over. And it was just like, why isn't anybody listening? Like,
yeah, I don't think that's inaccurate. I think because that was the thing about the Geek Time podcast was like I had like, you know, doing the Geek Time podcast with Aaron and James, like it was incredible. James Bainey, not James.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. It was a very different James for those who have
too many Jameses. Except they overlapped on a phone call.
They did. That was a historic phone call. Let's not talk about that phone call. But yeah, so it was fun doing it because we just got really goofy, but like the content, it was just like here's four cis dudes just talking about nerd shit, as if like that wasn't every podcast this side of fucking Mississippi at that point. Like that was a weird idiom to say. I don't know why I did that, but yeah.
Did you guys have
this side meaning all sides?
Yeah, every side of the Mississippi.
Did you guys have like a structure to it, or you just get on and just talk whatever comes to mind.
Structure, never heard of her.
Structure, I barely know her.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Well, and it was weird too because as soon as Metal Gear Mondays came out, it was like pretty. I don't know. Like for the first year or two, it was really hard to know if anybody was listening.
Mm-hmm.
But I would
Yeah.
say it was an order of magnitude more listened to than
Yes,
Geek Time, like
absolutely.
immediately, like right out the
Absolutely.
gate. Like we knew that much.
Well, because I even think about like because when we did a Patreon for Geek Time and then we did a Patreon for Metal Gear, like even that just like from the very start of both of them, like it was very like measurably in favor of Metal Gear Mondays.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, that was a weird phone call that we had to make where it was like, hey, this random show that we did for shits and gigs is now kind of the main gig. See ya.
Yeah, it's kind of like the flagship show now. So I guess whatever.
Yeah, which was a bummer because like the other guys we podcasted with weren't on the Metal Gear show. So for us
Yeah.
to be like, see ya losers, like was yeah, and they're not losers. I was just putting on I was being
just like a Mean Girls
douchey
like meme
biker man. Yeah.
douchey biker. Well, because like it was very uncomfortable because like I like just to put it all on the table there, like I knew James and Aaron like IRL, like they were our friends. You drift apart, and I'm in Seattle now, so it's just kind of hard to keep up with people. But at the time, it was just like, well, fuck, I don't know, like what we're doing here. The interest seems to have waned, and like I am personally needing and wanting to shift my focus into this thing that's actually producing results, and it was just a really uncomfortable situation for a while.
Yeah, it's like, how do you talk to somebody? Because like it's not dissimilar from a conversation that we actually had off mic earlier, but it was like when you are making a thing with people
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting more out of just spending time with you than you're getting out of making the thing. I think then it puts you in a very uncomfortable situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's super weird. Well, and I felt weird too because I was just like this disembodied voice that was like, "No, Sam, come to the dark side."
Well, I think that would be like but that's the thing is like I wanted to quote come to the dark side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to focus my time on the thing that like not only did I enjoy it, but like it was like semi-successful. It was like at that point, and even to this day, like I've been doing YouTube and stuff, and that's gotten a decent following. But I like the most successful creative thing I've done on the internet. I think when you want to do something like that, and also there's the draw of success, like it's hard to push that away.
Yeah.
So it's not like you were like having to convince me to like do it.
Yeah.
It was just like here's what I'm doing, let's go. But like also here are these people that I've been doing this also with for X amount of time, similar amount of time that I was doing with Alessio, and it was just like it felt like leaving people behind, and it was it's kind of a weird feeling.
Because then there becomes like a whole other different set of situations. So like for Geek Time, the whole issue that we would talk about over and over and over is like, how the fuck do we get people to listen? And then for Metal Gear Mondays, it became a waiting game where it was like, okay, the people who are finding us are total strangers. So we know that something's working. And then it's like, and this is the hard thing. So if you're making a podcast or you're thinking about making a podcast, I'm just going to lay this out for you as potential help. But it's like,
don't.
Well, I think in podcast world specifically, I think, and I guess this probably applies to YouTube as well. YouTube and podcasts where time isn't important. Like, so how do I say this? So if I were to make, this podcast right now, right? This podcast right now, 20 years from now, somebody might just fucking stumble across it out of the blue. And it's the same with YouTube, right? Like I watch tons of YouTube videos where it's like 9 years ago, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I get 10-year-old video recommendations all the time. Like,
yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like you can't throw your fishing line into the lake. You can't like fly fish when you're making a podcast. Like you can't just fucking toss it and pull it out, toss it and pull it out. You have to like let it sit for like what might feel like an uncomfortable amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean like make the thing and let the thing sit, but I mean keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The shitty part is you're not really going to get measurable feedback until like a year of you doing the thing that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So the shitty part is like you kind of still don't know, and you're kind of in the dark, and you're just dancing in the dark by yourself, hoping that there's somebody else in the room who can see you. And then a year later, somebody turns the fucking light on, and there's 10 other people in the room, and you're like, oh,
Right.
there were people.
And obviously there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, yeah, you're like I said, I just started kind of casually doing like YouTube stuff after I stepped away from the show, and like I said, I didn't feel any kind of like return on that for a very long time, and I've been doing it for 2 years now, and I'm still kind of waiting for it. But I think if you have the patience, like you have to have, like Alessio said, it basically boils down to having patience, but also like make sure you're enjoying what you're producing, because while you're waiting for that recognition to come, like all
If
you
it
have to
ever comes.
if it ever comes, yeah, all you have to stand on is the enjoyment of the product that you're creating, what it does for you, how it fulfills you. And so if you don't enjoy what you're making, not only are you miserable because you hate what you're doing, but you also are not even getting the success that you want out of it. And so it's just like a whole negative thing. And so you have to make sure you're at the very least doing what you're doing for you first before it
Yeah.
can reach any kind of success.
Well, and I think a lot of people in small businesses tend to refer to this kind of thing as like failing fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you, because I mean, it is a large amount of work to put a show like this together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that's something too. I mean, obviously, we could probably do a whole fucking 3 hours on this, but like making a podcast while being in a new city, while God forbid, while COVID's going on,
Mm-hmm.
while people are being born and people are dying and all these, like, I mean, it is not a quick and easy slap it together, fuck it, I'm gonna have fun with my friends kind of a job. Like
Mm-hmm.
there is fun to be had, but I think there's way more work that goes into this
Yeah.
shit. And so if anybody's ever like, oh man, why are the hosts like a revolving door on some of these podcasts, including Metal Gear Mondays? And I think it's just because shit is hard, man.
Yeah. It's hard and you burn out, like creatively. It's just like I spent like it was hard for me because like I spent so much time, and I'm sure these guys kind of like can agree with this in at least some way, but I spent so much time focusing on this like one guy that made these games and picking apart like every little thing that this person has done. It just gets exhausting, and you kind of learn in a weird way how to hate the thing that you love when you poke at it so much. And so that was why I like stepped away, because like after Death Stranding came out and I played that for the show with the guys, I was just like, I can't do Hideo Kojima anymore. Like this is not something that makes me happy. I can't like you got the memories, but like fuck this guy. And you're just like, and like like when you start to feel that way, that's when you kind of know you either have to shift focus or stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been my experience. It's one of those things where like, to kind of go back to the whole failure thing, it's just like, it's not, unless you just stop, it's not really failure, but because everything you do is learning. And so I have a hard time calling increasing your skills and learning and having experience failure.
Yeah,
But
I guess like iteration is probably like a
yeah,
better,
yeah, that's probably
like take what
better.
you learn. And it's like
Yeah.
Digimon World, right? You just
Yeah.
grind that little fucker until he dies, and then you take his pieces and you make a better, newer one.
Yeah.
Good old
Is that
PlayStation
how
throwback.
I don't know, is that how Digimon works? I don't know if that's how Digimon I appreciate the sentiment though.
Isaac.
Isaac.
So one, we didn't let you.
Yeah.
Didn't. So three questions for Isaac. One,
Yes.
where were you when all this went down emotionally? Like while you were working on Metal Gear Mondays for the OG season, like where was your head at? What were you into? Question number 2, what is it like to be sandwiched between these two loudmouth, never stop talking motherfuckers for so long? And then number 3, dude, did you Irish goodbye the episode? Why didn't you ever have a proper farewell?
Oh man.
So
Well,
let's start at number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for me, I was getting to a point where I was a little, in general, burnt out on video games. There was a time when I was like, oh, video games are amazing and I'm never going to get tired of video games. And then slowly, I maybe it's the work life that, wears you down, but I found myself playing video games less and less.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just.
What do you guys mean? Gamers for life.
Yeah. And so when Alessio came to me and he's like, hey, what do you think of this idea? I was like, I mean, I don't want to lose the love of video games. And this would kind of help me steer back on track and
get back on the wagon.
Get back on the wagon. Is it on
Gain
the
a
wagon
love
or
for
off the
one,
wagon?
one specific video game.
Yeah, so I was like,
the petty wagon, maybe.
Yeah. Isaac, I heard you don't play video games, but do you play video game?
And I think it's safe to say that I'm bad at video games as a parent through this podcast. So
I thought you were about to say as a parent, and I was like, Isaac, what has
You've been
happened?
hiding some shit from us, brother.
yeah, let me just tell you, you got a lot of secrets. A lot happened in the 3 years. But yeah, so it was good. It was fun. But I think Alessio said it best when we went on the first hiatus. When we discussed it and trying to figure out where everybody was at, I think he said it, and it started out as being fun, just like playing video games and talking about it with your friends and, that sort of thing. But then after a while, it felt almost like a homework assignment week after week that we had to keep up with. And I kind of shared that sentiment, I guess, even though I didn't put in the same amount of work that you two did, for sure. But yeah, it was just, it didn't feel as rewarding, I guess. It was like, oh, I gotta turn this on again and play through this little section. And yeah, so it was
17 times. No.
And when you're bad at something, it's really, really hard for you to like stick to it.
We should have been like, Isaac, do you want to do a Dark Souls podcast?
Oh my god. I feel like if we did a Dark Souls podcast, Isaac would just like boss Dark Souls somehow. Like I don't know.
We would I feel like it would be, the podcast would just be like training montage music for the entirety.
I would vote Isaac in the yearbook to be most likely to secretly be great at Dark Souls.
Yo, let's do it. Y'all want to start another podcast?
All right, so Dark
Souls done days, everybody.
Question number 2, Isaac, which was, let me remember. So question number 1 was, where were you mentally? Question number 2 was, what is it like to be sandwiched in between these two big bossy, big mouth basses?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
what?
These big boys. It's always a good time, that's for sure. I mean, being a little bit quieter, I guess, it can be hard. Interjecting, but that's that's the way it goes sometimes.
Isaac is a massive fucking personality in person, though. Like that's something that
my god, Isaac
lost in translation over the podcast.
So I'm gonna say this here because I've mentioned it not to him via text and to Alessio, a couple of the people over the last couple of weeks, but I'm gonna say it here live on air while Isaac is here so he can be embarrassed. Isaac is perhaps one of the funniest people I know in life. Because so in real life, Isaac is the physical manifestation of a fever dream, I think, in real life, and I love it so much. When he's on podcasts with us,
It's like somebody turned on a flashlight over like a mouse in the basement or something.
Yeah.
It's just like
Deer
but like,
headlights.
but that's the thing though, is like he kind of, but like Isaac will like, it's kind of like he's prepping a fucking spirit bomb the entire episode, and he'll just like store his energy when he's quiet, and then he'll just say something that is the most off the wall, like many times has like the 3 things he said on an episode of Metal Gear Mondays been the best part of the episode so many times, and that's kind of that's who Isaac is. I love he's so funny, incredibly funny.
Well, here I am.
Hey.
I think for the entirety of me and Isaac's friendship, I think we have worked so well together because we are the opposite. Where Isaac's like, I have to store the energy, and I'm like, get the energy out of me. It's poison. Go. But no,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I think that's something that I would say. We're turning into the Isaac Gush podcast, but
Hey,
I
man.
think my life has been better for knowing Isaac.
Mhm.
And I feel
Dang, man.
blessed that Isaac has been my friend for 20 years this year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Yep.
Isaac.
Oh, we were talking about anniversaries, like the Eco anniversary. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Eco
our
and Silent Hill
anniversary.
2. Silent Hill 2 turned 20 a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
Weirdly enough, Silent Hill 2 is older than Eco, which makes no fucking sense to my brain. But
Yeah. So we share the same anniversary. As
yeah, it's crazy.
Silent
We'll
Hill
just call it.
2.
We'll say Eco. Eco is our
Eco.
anniversary.
That's true.
It's fitting.
Never
So the
thought
third
about
question, Isaac, why did you Irish goodbye the podcast?
Let me just tell you.
Fucking Steve from Blue's Clues over here, just going away to college.
This is his moment where he comes back and says, "I'm super glad we're still friends."
And we cry. We all cry.
Can you take that meme and just put my face on top of his?
Maybe that should be your tweet.
Oh, all right.
We have to
I'll be-
deep fake.
I'll be working in the background.
That'd be weird.
But no, I mean, was it like? I'm going to give you an out, I guess. I mean, was it just
No, I
as
can
simple as like, hey, shit came up and things kind of went along their merry way, or I mean, was there like a specific moment when you were like, I'm done?
No, I just remember around that time, like I think you had called me, and then Sam had called me about, like stuff going on with the podcast, and that you guys were, I guess Alessio more so was, kind of ready to part ways with the podcast.
Yeah. I think Alessio was getting ready to go, and then I think
Yeah.
I was like trying to test the waters of like, do you want to play Death Stranding? Like,
Oh, that's right. That was the
Yeah.
last time. Because if
Yeah.
that if the Marianne Williamson episode was August,
it was like August, so it was like like in like three-ish months was going to be when we started covering.
well, and I moved in July too, so we probably recorded before I moved, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I
And
believe
then
so.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I mean that all lines up for sure. Because I think pre-move, I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, because I knew we were going to get Cole in to do Death Stranding, and
You
I
said
knew we were gonna,
colon.
we wanted to get Cole to do it, and I was considering like, okay, let's see if we can get Isaac in. I kind of want to get Zach in, and yeah, that's kind of where I was talking to Isaac at the time.
Right. And
Isaac called me and he said, "This motherfucker expects me." No, I'm kidding.
well,
Isaac swears like crazy when he's not on the podcast.
Hey,
Yeah,
He's all
That's
fuck this,
for,
fuck that. Like,
I want to hear Isaac swear so bad.
I've heard him swear twice, and it's so good.
Oh, no.
20
Gosh.
years, you guys. One
Gosh
swear
darn it.
every decade.
Yeah, once every 10. I don't know. I think it was that I was also kind of getting burned out again. And so when Alessio was like expressing the same sentiment, I was like, well, And then I think Alessio was like, Sam was trying to get a couple other hosts to do Death Stranding. I was like, well, yeah.
It's a pretty solid reaction to Death Stranding.
Yeah,
in my
so
opinion.
I was playing it back. I was like, do I want to get into Death Stranding?
Do you want to get stranded
Do I-
into Death Stranding?
Dude, I still have not played like halfway through that game. So maybe
Oh,
I
you
should.
did play it though.
Yeah, I played through like, I don't know, an hour.
Hey, for
And
what
then-
it's worth, I think Death Stranding feels like the most like, yeah, Isaac wanted to make this video game.
I'll take it.
I
It feels like a
what-
fumbling in the dark skit got written down and actually produced by Kojima Productions.
it does actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, that kind of paints Death Stranding in a better light for me now. It's
I
just
should call Kojima.
Isaac's video game fever dream is what Death Stranding wants.
100%. Well, and so it's funny when this might actually be a perfect segue into kind of later roundtables. So I'll just kind of put this here. But like, so we did take a really long break in between MGS4 and then coming back. And I think that actually helped us out a lot because getting James in there and kind of getting like a distance.
Mhm.
I would argue, and maybe this is me being biased, I would argue, I think it's is it 65 when we came back? I would argue that I think Metal Gear Rising was the first thing we did when we got back.
Yes, that's right.
I think Metal Gear Rising up until the first trivia episode, because there's been a second one. There's been a second one since then. I would say, yeah, from Rising to trivia is my personal golden age of the podcast. I would
Well, because
say.
that's when we
I
started
could see
doing
that.
like interviews too, right?
Yeah, it was like interviews, super specific, like not necessarily game focused. Because I mean, we did the fan fiction episode, we did parody games, we did fighting games. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because we started branching out, but I really, really love that whole stint.
And I think we kind of solidified like the format, but like also how we went about the podcast. I think.
Mm-hmm. It was cool. Well, and for what it's worth, too, you guys, 3 out of the top 5 most listened to episodes are all Metal Gear Solid 5 related.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So we did it. But the other thing I was going to say, we did it. But I would say, and Sam, definitely like no tea, no shade, no lemonade. And this is the thing I'm going to be most curious to like not grill you guys, but like interrogate you guys to learn about. I didn't expect anything to happen after Death Stranding. I was like legitimately surprised that, and not in like a bad way. I just thought that like, because everybody was so fatigued at that point that I was like, oh, Death Stranding, and we're gonna wrap it up. Like that's it. Like put it in the mothballs.
Well, I think so. Not to get too inside baseball about it, but whatever. This is what this is for, because we had a lot of discussions at the time after Death Stranding, because like Alessio had left, Isaac had left a while back. I was leaving, and so it was just like, well, do we even want to? Because and then Zach, around the time that I said I was leaving, Zach was just like, oh, Zach was thinking about it, and then I said I was going to, so he took that. I was like, oh, I need to. This is
how soon after Death Stranding was this though? Because in my head, didn't you guys have like a season or two?
We started. We did before I left. We played Observer.
Oh yeah, because Warren produced it, right?
No, Warren was a guest at the time, so Warren had come on for my last full episode, which wound up being like the wrap up episode for Observer and Blade Runner.
Yeah, I thought he bought you guys copies of the game or something.
Yes,
I thought there was some sort of like
Yes, so at some point he sent us some PSN bucks to basically, he was just like, Observer is this cheap on PlayStation Plus. Here's money to play Observer and get PlayStation Plus so you can get the deal. And that was incredibly kind, and Observer wound up being like a really great like experience. But yeah, we did like after Death Stranding. We did like I remember Cole, Zach, Chris, and I did like a state of the podcast episode,
Oh, I
and
remember that.
this was like what we were planning on doing, and this was this was literally like right before the pandemic hit in 2020. We talked about like what our like ideal Metal Gear Solid 6 was, and then we launched into Blade Runner. We did Observer, and then that was when
The Great Schism happened.
and that's when Zach Cole and I left, and then I think like July was when Revenge, the Metal Gear Mondays Revengeance started, and so we had conversations around the time I was leaving. It was just like, do we want to end it? Do we want to find some people to carry the torch? And it wound up being
How about both?
yeah, basically.
Yep.
So it wound up being Chris, and then we got Tori on it, and then Cole was going to
he was on those first
them.
few episodes.
Yeah, Cole was going to record, going to go on with it, but I think just some like personal like mental health issues and stuff like that kind of like put the kibosh on that. So Cole stepped away, and that's when they called Warren in, and then that's where we kind of are today. And so
You'll meet all of these people.
yeah, and I think there was just a lot of burnout all around from everyone, and I think it just kind of made sense to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
End. Yeah.
I'm going to dance around my words, not because I'm trying to tiptoe around anything bad, but because I don't want what I say to devalue anybody's participation in this project.
Contributions.
But I will say, when you are 3 really good friends who start something just for shits and gigs and because people actually are listening and think you guys are fun to listen to, it becomes really difficult, not just for us, not just for the people who took over after us, and not just for listeners. It's really difficult for everybody because you've got people who were listening because of the chemistry. You've got friends who were making it because of the chemistry. And then you have new people who, once they get like 2 or 3 generations removed, it becomes this weird, here we go, he's going to say the name of the thing. It becomes this weird phantom pain where you're like carrying around an obligation from someone else's obligation. You know what I mean? So it just becomes this weird. So I don't know. I think to some extent, I'm not trying to say that the people that are currently working on the show are not making killer content. I'm not trying to say that they're not enjoying what they're doing. But I think there just is an overwhelming sense from top to bottom of everybody just wanting to move on, I think. And so we want to have fun and move on in a celebratory way and not in a downer way.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where it's just like, it's like I said, when you kind of cease to enjoy yourself doing something, it shows, and it kind of becomes like you do it out of spite after a while. And I know I didn't want that to be what happened to me. And I preface that by saying that I don't think that's what has happened with the 2.0 team and anything like that. What I think is that overwhelming sense of wanting to move on would eventually evolve into that kind of like, you basically hate fucking what you're doing after a certain point. Kind of like Metal Gear Solid 4, Kojima hate fucking his fans, as we've discussed several times.
Without repeating the same material, how do you cover something that got covered into the ground?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I will say this, and this is the last time I will mention it. I think I do mention it later on in a different recording, but this is the last time that I will mention it officially in chronological sequence. My 2 biggest regrets.
Yeah.
2 words. Snatcher and Police Knots.
Yeah.
I really wanted to fucking play those games.
Yeah.
So I've played Snatcher, and I've only played like a quarter of Police Knots, but I really wanted to play those games for the show.
That was, and the crazy part about it is, I'm pretty sure, like before you stepped away, we had like penned that into the schedule, and then Death Stranding came in and like completely cleared the schedule, and then everything kind of like fell off from
Yeah.
there. But like we planned to play Police Knots and Snatcher so many fucking times, and it just never happened.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too that also bums me out is that Blade Runner Observer and Snatcher would have been an excellent lead into Cyberpunk coming out.
Yes, absolutely. Which, too bad Cyberpunk wound up being a disappointment.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. But no, it's just very funny to me. Like, because it's in a weird way too, it's like when you're not engaging,
Mhm.
you almost have to like, from my perspective, I definitely engaged with the community on Discord way longer than my tenure on the podcast ran.
Mhm.
But I will say it's really difficult to listen to a podcast that you used to be on because no matter how good it is, in the back of your head, you're like building schedules for seasons that don't exist. You know what I mean? Like, at least that's how I am. I'm like, oh, you could do this and you could do this and you could do this. And it's like, it's not your thing anymore.
It's kind of this, it's kind of the same thing for me. It's just really hard to like know. It's like, this is the thing that I did, and then it's just like, well, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, nice. No, this was good. Isaac, did you want to add anything else? Like 100%. Like if you have anything you ever wanted to say on the podcast,
Yeah, let go now.
I should have thought on this leading up to.
I was like, what else is new, Isaac?
No, I will say this probably what it was the longest thing I've been a part of in a while, like something that's been so big, I guess you could say. And I know I wasn't very active in like Discord or Twitter or
what a weird
a
way
lot
to say
of things.
Twitter.
But yeah, just like seeing the small footprint we had. I mean, it wasn't gigantic by any means, but it actually impacted people, and seeing that was really cool. And then like reading all the fan letters and all over the world, seeing like how we kind of impacted them.
I will
mostly
say
positive, but you know,
mostly positive. I will say I think because of your like lack of participation in the Discord and Twitter, I think the listeners kind of deified you a little bit.
Yeah, Isaac has been mythologized as this mystery man.
So me and Alessia laying our entire lives out, and Isaac's just like, I am secret.
I am. That's it. Well, so and I guess I don't know if I ever told you this, Isaac. From my perspective, sort of being this like weird, being the shadow advisor for Metal Gear Mondays. And also, I mean, again, I was very active in the Discord for about a year and a half. And then ultimately that then had like this weird, at least for me, had this weird codependency where it's like, I have to respond to everything. But I will say this, I think, and I don't know if anybody's told you this, I think because of a podcast that we started, some people got to build their own community during COVID and legitimately stay sane and make lifelong friends because of this stupid fucking show.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, when you stop and think and kind of remove yourself from the equation, there's sort of like a cool, sad beauty to it.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like how back in the day, or I guess it happens now, is like you'll have your best friend will be this dude that you've never met, but you play video games with him every night. And then so like the game brings you together, but you've never actually met, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, this is a similar situation. I feel like we've provided the outlet for people to come together with a common interest and basically build lifelong friendships, which was really cool to see. Like, like seeing all that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck, even if like the listeners, absolutely. But if you think about it, that's what happened with us too.
True.
like obviously you and Alessio knew each other outside of like the podcast, but
Hell
in
yeah.
real life. But like again, like Alessio, like me and Alessio bonded because of Geek Time and writing. Like if Tony never walks into that room, I never know Alessio or Isaac or James or any of these people.
Yeah.
And
You never meet David Hayter.
exactly, or
Whoa.
David Hayter, my best friend. But sorry, Tori.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's wild because like again, Alessio and me's interactions for the first like year of knowing each other was just like, hey, you write this thing, okay, let me look at it, okay, cool, here it goes. And then
and that's a weird thing too, because Sam had to read all my shit for it to get published. So I think Sam knew more about me than I knew about Sam for a long time.
Yeah. And then we started doing the Geek Time podcast, and then we bonded through that. And then I remember the first time I ever met Alessio when he came to Ohio for that convention where he met Cole and Gary.
Where I peed my pants.
Yeah, I saw that picture somewhere.
Hey, I would say that convention is how we got Cole on the podcast.
Yep.
Which is how we got Nick Freda to listen to the podcast, I think.
Yep.
Which is that, like, yeah, it's all just a fucking this thing did this thing.
And then obviously Isaac, like I started talking to you because we did this podcast together. And again, we were going back through like memory lane, looking at like Liquid Metal Mike's like drawings that he did for us on Facebook, on the Facebook page. And then just like LMM, and then kind of going back through some pictures and seeing that picture that Kristen took of us sitting on the couch at Alessio's office in St. Louis, where the three of us were together for the first time, and that was when I met James and all that stuff. It's surreal to think about, because like we built this community so that these listeners, these people have now created these bonds and friendships, but like it did it for us too.
Yeah, that's true, man.
The whole time that you've been saying this, I've been staring at this picture that you made of Isaac Steve. It's just a picture of Steve with Isaac's face, and it says, "I never forgot you ever," and I'm super glad we're still friends.
Oh no!
And I'm just staring into Isaac's eyes.
Oh my gosh!
I even tinted the skin to match Isaac's skin tone a little bit too.
It's very good. You can really see it in the second image because there's like a little bit of a darker shadow on Steve.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Nice. Well, so before we shift into, so we'll shift into a little segue, then we'll do a brief little intro, and then we'll shift into the next. But before we shift back into each of these is a painting. Mario's coming back to the castle between each one. But before we do that, let's do like a fun closer. Isaac. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
So I don't know what I want to do one thing for Isaac, because I want to kind of bounce off the fact that Isaac is such a cloak and dagger motherfucker and never shared anything with anybody. Isaac, I would like you to take this opportunity to share your deepest, darkest secret with
Oh my God, that was 100%. I was about to say, what is one thing that each of us has never shared with the listener?
Wow. Well, let's start with Isaac then. I'm sorry to steal your thunder.
Oh, jeez.
No, you're good. Please steal away.
My deepest, darkest secret?
Well, it doesn't have to be.
No, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the dead body in your attic.
Yeah. That we know exists. Yeah, just just something that you've never like shared before, and just something that might be fun for them to know. Doesn't have to be like super personal, but.
Well, I don't do well on the spot.
Would you like some time to think about it?
Let me. Yeah.
All right, Sam. I still have to think. Do you have anything in mind?
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no.
Got him.
It was your question.
I know. I was hoping Isaac would take it.
Oh my God.
Me too.
Hold on. I'm trying to rack my brain because I feel like I'm way too much of an open book. So I'm trying to see if there's anything.
Same. Like I don't really like keep stuff back really.
Have I mentioned the weird stuffed animal thing? on the show?
No.
Okay.
What?
So yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. So as a young, I want to say 13 and younger. So probably like primo was like 7 to 13. So from like between 7 years old and 13 years old. No, like 7 and 12, whatever. So for a chunk of my adolescence, I had a bunch of stuffed animals.
Okay.
And for the most part, it was like, I don't know why I had so many fucking stuffed animals because I don't remember asking for them or buying them. I think it was just gifts from family. And my parents like never got rid of anything. Like I still carry with me a whole bunch of porcelain bears from England that my mom collected while I was in her stomach. And I still fucking carry them with me, and they've never seen the light of day.
Whoa.
Because I feel bad like getting rid of them. But anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
so my parents kept all these stuffed animals. So it was like stuffed animals from the hospital when I was born, stuffed animals from family, all this shit. So they sat up at the foot of my bed. And so I had all these stuffed animals on the foot of my bed. I was afraid to go to sleep unless I hugged and kissed and said I loved you to each and every one of them.
Whoa.
Because I was sad that if one of them didn't hear that from me, that he would get jealous and kill me in my sleep.
Oh, that turned that did not
Yeah.
go where I thought it
That
would
was
go.
not where I expected it to go.
And this is why I respond to fan emails within the hour of them.
Wow.
Man,
Psychoses are weird, right?
Well,
They had creepy eyes, man.
they do. They do.
I
But you
ordered the IKEA bear, that Jungleskog bear that like kind of
Oh, it's so
slumps.
good.
Oh, I have him and he's the best. I love him so much.
Is that your secret thing?
No. That's absolutely public. I
feel like whoever just heard that somewhere who's not known that about me is probably just like, you know what? That explains everything. Yeah, Isaac, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. That's wild. I think I knew about the porcelain bears, but I didn't know you still had them.
Yeah.
Have I talked about my oh boy. Have I talked about my Kingdom Hearts fan fiction at all?
Oh,
You've mentioned it, and you said that if we ever hit a patron goal of like
so
X dollars, dude. But I mean, it's all going away, so now's your chance.
The right chance. It's never going to see the light of day, but I guess.
Can you read what would the back of the DVD box for the fanfic
Jesus
say?
Christ.
This is a big get, by the way. Like, if anybody's listening to this, like, this is a big deal.
Friendless middle schooler writes.
No, baby. I want to know about the fanfic, not about you writing the fanfic.
Oh, well, shit.
Give me like the 5-sentence back of the book.
It was just like well, so knowing who I was as a person when I wrote it is kind of like because it was like I was just like, I want every single Final Fantasy character to be in this fan fiction.
Yeah.
And so like one of the main characters was fucking Firion from Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah.
Like it was just like I was just like fucking, and then like me being like this like lonely like fucking mid-puberty teenager was like everything, like everybody was fucking.
Oh, no.
And then X fucks Ultros.
And there was like a plot point where like they go they go forward in time and they have to fucking save the world, and Sora and Kyrie's daughter is like the fucking protagonist of this, like the president. Yeah, no, the protagonist of this like section. But then there was like a point. There was like a point towards the beginning of the book where I paid that off, and they were just like, Sora was just like, y'all, you want to fuck? And Kyrie's like, yeah.
Is there a physical version of this, or is it all typed?
No, it's all on fanfiction.net somewhere.
Oh, it's up. It's still around.
Yeah. Oh, I looked at it like a month ago. Yeah, it's still on there. If you, like I said, if you like, I can't do it
If-
with Metal
if-
Gear Mondays, but like if somebody listen,
If
Twitter.
I find this before you finish talking, I'm absolutely sharing it with people.
Oh yeah, no. If you can listen, if you find it before I finish talking, you deserve to share it with people. But I don't think you will. But yeah, but like it was like they had their daughter, but then like I did this. It was like Chekhov's fuck. It's like Chekhov's sex scene where it's just like Kyrie and Sora fuck, and then like I pay it off later by having their daughter be like the main character of the story, and they travel in time and they have to help her fucking beat the Heartless or some shit like that. It was fucking the worst shit. Like the worst, like middle school angst garbage. Like it was just rough.
Damn it!
But
Did not find it.
it's okay.
Can we
I was
get
trying
like
so hard. I was also trying
a
to daintily
paragraph
type on my
of it?
loud.
Dainty types. It does have. I will say it does have Kingdom Hearts in the title.
Oh.
It is. So here's the
That narrows
only,
it down to 18 billion.
Right. Here's the only hint I will give you. It is Kingdom Hearts : something, and that something is one word.
Well, so let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
Did you write it under a pen name?
I did. It was my fanfiction.net account.
Okay, so if you type in Kingdom Hearts, I just need everybody at home to know that there are almost 11,000 stories on fanfiction.net. Time to get a digging. All right, Isaac, what was yours?
Let's see. I feel like I don't have
that was the most I've ever explained about this fanfiction in my life. So that is a bit.
How's that make you feel?
I found something that
bad.
I found something that matches what you just described a little bit, but I'm gonna keep going, Isaac.
Put the name of it in the chat, and I'll tell you if it's right or not.
Yo, yeah. So I feel like I don't have anything crazy.
Sam, are you sure it's not Kingdom Farts by Burning Nightmare?
It sure is not.
Isaac, you got nothing?
I don't got like a crazy story like y'all do. Y'all got something.
We got some
wild childhoods. No.
Get out of here, boy. I know you got something.
I guess this will be. I don't know if I've ever shared this, but actually, I don't know if Sam knows, but Alessio, I've got 3 sisters, right? So
yes. What if I was like, no, I've known you for this long. You have sisters?
I didn't know Isaac had sisters for an uncomfortably long time of knowing him. Like
Isaac comes from a strong female family. Like there are it's Isaac and his dad, and then just like a whole bunch of like very, very independent, strong female human beings, like wonderful people.
Good recovery, Alessio. No, just kidding. No, yeah, they're great. They're great.
Shout out to Kim Lim. Kim is
Kim Lim. Oh, remember in like 8th or 9th grade, I revealed that my mom's name was Kim Lim to the class.
Yes. It was the funniest thing I had ever heard
at
that time. I was
remember.
Hold on, her name is Kim Lim.
Well, then I don't know why that was so funny. I mean, yeah, but and then somebody brought it up and asked, "Is your dad's name Jim Lim?"
That would be too good.
Yeah.
Not to be confused, there's actually a musician who I listen to sometimes named Lim Kim.
Lim Kim, yes, I've heard of her. Anyway, that's not my.
I'll quit waffling your story.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, so when I was young, I guess I felt like left out that they would always have like things to do amongst themselves. Being the only guy, it's like I got to do this all on my own. And so, they would like go and paint their nails and braid their hairs and have girls' night.
Braid their individual hairs.
I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. They reacted the same way. Oh man, braid their hair. I don't know. Anyway, so I got real upset and I was like, but mom, I want to paint my nails and braid my hair. And so she wouldn't let me. She was like, okay, you can paint your nails, but it's got to be like clear or something neutral. So that's it. That's the story.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, you left me on a cliffhanger. Have you ever had your nails painted?
Yeah. So we would have like, quote unquote girls' nights when I was a kid, and I would be able to paint my nails clear, and they could paint their nails pink, and I was included.
I love it.
And then so I guess I don't know. That's a pretty dark. That's not really dark.
God.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, to the extent where it moved. I mean, it got to the point where like I wanted to play with their Barbies too.
Get in there, boy.
Get in there, because I was like, I mean, they're like, yeah, we're already buying all these Barbies for these girls. We can't spare money for like Hot Wheels for you. I'm like, so
this Malibu Barbie gift set better be big enough for that track.
That's some real heteronormative peasant shit right there. Can I talk a little bit more about my fan fiction?
Oh,
yes, please.
So I'm looking at the reviews. People have reviewed it.
I'm still on the hunt.
Here's what else. So again, the other thing that I forgot to mention: lots of cursing, because of course.
I'm waiting for it.
Also, as we're recording this, yesterday, was exactly 15 years since it got published. Yeah, September 26th. I hate to date it, but September 26th. 2006.
He's giving me more information.
That's all you're getting. Let's see.
What are the reviews like?
Let's see. Great story. Update as soon as you can. The story is truly.
I cannot believe you left them hanging for that long. Sam.
I'm not bullshitting. These are actual reviews for the story. Great story. Update as soon as you can. The story truly is amazing, and Axel's totally awesome. But I have one question: why is this fic centered, not censored? People often hear me wrong, so I formatted it so it like is centered on the page for some reason.
Do you remember what genre you filed it
under? Yes, but I'm not telling you.
Damn
it. Let's see. Everybody likes my Axel. He's really badass.
Nice.
Yeah. Chance. More. Oh, I noticed that some parts seem a little dragged out and others seem rushed. It can be distracting at times, but I still love the story. I'll be waiting for the next chapter. Very interesting so far. I really like the plot of the story. Keep up the great work. And then that was in 2007. There's a couple more that I kind of breezed through, but that was in 2007. And then in February 3rd, 2009 was the last review. The story sucks. SUX.
That was me, dude. That was me rolling. Me rolling with a little taste of reality.
Little flavor there.
This story sucks. All right. Well, wow. I will dedicate the rest of my life to this, and I'll see you guys later. No. So back to the task at hand. Let us blue skidoo back to the main wing of this very weird long episode.
Whoop, whoop.
See you on the other side. All right. Wow, we're already here. Okay. So far you have heard us introduce the finale season, the grand finale, the death of Metal Gear Mondays. Long live Metal Gear Mondays. We just did the 1.0 roundtable recollection, nostalgia-fueled nightmare with me, Sam, and Isaac. Mm-hmm. And what you are about to hear right now is
Metal Gear Mondays 1.5. And we are about to have a roundtable discussion, as you've heard, with the boys, Zach James and Cole Duncan. And
The
we're gonna
boys,
talk
the
about-
boys.
the boys in the house. We're gonna we're gonna talk about our time with Death Stranding. We're gonna talk about just other stuff of that nature. We're gonna have another roundtable. It's gonna be lots of fun. So Alessio's gonna be on that one with us,
Hello.
because of course, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun. Isaac, fuck
You're not
off.
allowed. You're not allowed.
Listen, this is my show now. This is the one that I did. This is for me, and it's mine now. I'm in a chaotic mood. Listen, I slammed fucking over the course of the last 3 hours. I slammed these energy waters that have a lot of caffeine in them that I got from my job in real life. I'm wearing jeans and a polo, and I didn't change into comfortable clothes for this.
I think this is
Listen.
the intro, yeah.
I'm in a chaotic place, and we're about to talk about Metal Gear Mondays 1.5, and I'd like to introduce some people.
No,
Cole Duncan, Cole Duncan, you're a professional wrestler. What is your entrance music?
Oh, fuck. On the spot.
Someone just stepped on a duck? What was that?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Fucking Southern Nights. I don't know. Fuck. It's lame. I'm lame. Hi, I'm back. I know no one asked for this.
The correct answer should have been some hardcore classical music.
Yeah, just fucking drop some of that Haydn shit on me.
All right, Zach James.
Same question?
No, not same question. Who's going to play you in the movie adaptation of your life?
Steve Buscemi.
Perfect. Alessio Summerfield.
I love a man who can fire from the hip that fast.
I know.
Alessio Summerfield, you walk into a date and somebody's wearing an article of clothing that makes you walk out immediately. What is that article of clothing?
An oversized sombrero.
Perfect.
Fucking.
I'm staying for that one.
My mind immediately went to chainmail underwear, but there's no way that I would be able to know that.
Unless they're wearing it on the outside, a la Captain Underpants.
That's true, but I would respect that.
Anyway, thank you guys for
and that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode for celebrating Metal Gear Mondays 1.5 here with us. We want to do something that is customary for Metal Gear Mondays 1.5, which is we'd like to do a crispy pop for the crowd out there. So I'll start really quickly.
Oh, that was nice. I like
Cracking
that.
open a Topo Chico hard seltzer exotic
Ooh.
pineapple.
All right,
Cole,
I'll go next.
Cole, would you like to? Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
And that would be a ranchy boy, a ranch water.
All right. What do you got, Zach?
I've got a Steez green tea.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about you? Alessio, do you have something at Crispy Pop, or are you going to do the whoop ass like you said off mic? Oh my god.
Mine's a tall can of D's. D's nuts.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what
got
the fuck
us.
kind of can. I want to know what the fuck kind of can Alessio has that it gasps before it gets open.
No. That was me
Self-aware.
gasping to pop it. That's me getting ready to crack.
Alessio just killed the one sentient fucking can in the world.
The can was about to tell us the secrets of life, and I just fucking.
It's like Epstein's not alive.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Not baby Epstein.
Mm-mm.
It's Lil Epstein. Get it right.
Lil Epstein. Get it right.
He's
Gonna
on
say.
SoundCloud.
I was gonna say.
Boys, we're back. One
We're
final
back.
time.
We're back.
It's been a while. We're one last rodeo for the boys. Listen, Alessio's been kind of in charge of shepherding us through these segments for these kind of final episodes of Metal Gear Mondays. But because 1.5 was when I took the show over, basically, this one is on me. Um,
The blood is on your hands.
Yeah, the blood is on my hands, and so I just kind of want to talk to you guys about like the experience on Metal Gear Mondays and kind of reminiscing. To kind of like start us off, I want to talk about like we briefly kind of talked about it in other sections, but like let's get into it because the journey kind of actually starts back during like the 1.0 section of Metal Gear Mondays to get to 1.5 because it kind of starts with Zach being a listener. So I want to talk to Zach really quick about how you found the podcast and how you like what prompted you to write in to the podcast that kind of led you to this place.
So we're gonna all jump back into the Wayback Machine here and go back to January 2016.
Oh fuck.
Hey, hold on. Zach can answer this in 2 words. Planet Fitness.
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to give the abridged version.
No suspense at all.
Yeah, so I was working as an overnight janitor at Planet Fitness in Middletown, New York, making $300.
Hold on, can you imagine Zach being like a late night?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely 100% yes.
Rolling around like fucking Charlie Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, so I was working overnights at Planet Fitness as a janitor, making a whopping $300 a week.
Big money.
Yeah, for real. And I was binge listening to a bunch of different podcasts and all that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm listening to all these video game podcasts, but there's none that are like dedicated to Metal Gear. Let me just hop on the Apple podcast thing real quick and type in Metal Gear. And wouldn't you know it, Metal Gear Mondays pops up.
Was it even Apple Podcasts back then? Was it? It was still like iTunes.
It was just the podcast app, whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah. And so I'm like, there's an actual Metal Gear podcast. So let me look into this. And I looked and, it had Metal Gear Solid 1. And you guys were right around the mid to late point of season 2 when I started listening. But what caught my eye was the fact that there was a Ghost Babble episode. And I was like, oh shit, not a lot of people who have played Metal Gear know about Ghost Babble. Let me listen to this and see if these guys actually know what the fuck they're talking about, or if they're just a bunch of idiots and I'm going to write it off.
Zach was already gatekeeping from the outside.
He was ready to fucking fight.
Zach was already like, what model of fucking Game Boy did you play this on?
Yeah, exactly.
Swear to God, if it wasn't a classic, you're fake fans.
You have a fucking Nyko plug-in light to play it with so you can actually see the screen.
You don't have the fucking magnifying glass, you're fucking plebeians.
Super Game Boy or bust.
At Metal Gear Mondays, you sons of bitches. But
only true fans know it's at Metal Gear Mondays, Zach. So
why didn't we make a fucking Metal Gear Mondays Sons of Bitches poster?
We could do it.
We could do a limited edition.
Like, that's amazing.
We
anyway,
could do
sorry.
a limited edition.
But
it's a final send off.
Yeah.
So I listened to it, and that one was interesting because that was one where it was just Alessio and Cameron, and they got fucking blitzed about halfway through the episode. But you guys were on point with what you were talking about, and so I went and I just jumped in and started binging it from episode 1 all the way to I forget which episode it was, but it was coming near I think it was like 1 or 2 episodes before season 2 ended. And I got to the end and I was like, you know what? These guys are fucking cool. They're talking about a game that I loved now. And
we'll get into that later.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that later. And I was like, let me reach out to, I was like, maybe just shot in the fucking dark, they'll respond. And so I sent it an email, and I think like the next day, Alessio responded.
That is the through line of every roundtable is, and Alessio wrote me back at 2 a.m. and
then what else I remember was I was like, holy shit. And I think Alessio would like CC'd Sam and Isaac on the email. And so I responded, and then like 2 or 3 days after, I just get a random email on the thread from Sam going, sorry, I took so long to respond. I had a dentist thing.
Yeah, that was when I got my fucking wisdom teeth out. I think. No,
I
that was when
believe
I
it
got
was.
my root canal. My root canal.
Oh yeah, no, it was the root canal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then season 3 came around, and you guys had on Cole Ross, I think, for the first episode, and then after that, you had me on for a couple episodes, and I think I was on 2 or 3 episodes, like mainline episodes of season 3, and I was on 1 episode of season 4, I believe.
Good old MGS4.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that's
please see aforementioned season for all of the things wrong with Metal Gear Solid 4.
So Zach, he was a fan from the way back, and he expressed interest several times being on the podcast, and of course he was a guest on several episodes.
So sorry to interrupt, Sam. It was the second episode you guys had me on for Metal Gear Solid 3.
You were in your fucking car.
I recorded the podcast from the front seat of my car, somehow on the phone with these guys and with my iPhone, recording my audio because I was at drill. It was my first drill with the new unit at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So Zach had been a fan for a while, and he had he had expressed interest in being on the show, and so it came to this point where Alessio was getting ready to step away, and we've talked about Isaac kind of like shadow stepping out of the fucking podcast too. And so it was
Isaac,
just
you
me.
shadow step.
So it was just me. I was just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And so I thought about, I was like, well, Zach might be interested in doing the show, but also, what about Cole Duncan, who at the time was our Discord mod? Yep. So now I want to ask you the same question, Cole, is how did you get into listening to the podcast? And then do you remember what like the journey was getting from listener to Discord mod?
No, it's similar to Zach's, honestly. Because I was working as like the night manager / like beer buyer for a liquor store like chain in my hometown. Like there was just like a couple of them, but I was like working as the night manager for one of them. And so like same kind of thing as Zach is like I would just listen to a shit ton of like podcasts while I was like restocking the store or like cleaning up or trying to like fix something with like the growler station. And it was similar. It was like I listened to like was it like video game book club that was like a College Humor thing. And I was like, oh, they did like a Metal Gear thing, and that was kind of cool. And then I found like a Metal Gear like audio drama, which was not great at all, but it was hilarious to listen to.
I think I listened to that too in like Quest for fucking anything Metal Gear.
Yeah, I found that and I was like, oh god, this is bad, man.
I still have yet to listen to it, but I've definitely come across it like a bunch.
Yeah, it's the voice acting is superb, let me tell you.
Because it's still like, and we've talked about this too, it's like it's still, when you look up Metal Gear on Apple Podcasts, you got Metal Gear Mondays, you still have Under the Cardboard Box, and then you have the Metal Gear audio drama, which I don't think Under the Cardboard Box published something in June. They were not regularly publishing shit.
Yeah, I feel bad like bashing them. I feel bad bashing them. Like, so I'm sorry if you are someone who listens to this and you were part of that drama. My bad. But yeah, then I saw Metal Gear Mondays. I was like, okay, let me check this out. I listened to it. I think you guys you were either in like doing Metal Gear Solid 2, and I was like, it was either 2 or 3. And I was like, oh shit, like they're actually going in depth on like the games and everything else. And so I just listened to it while I was at work and kind of went back to the beginning and listened like going forward. I'd had like a couple Twitter interactions, I think, with Sam and Alessio before you guys had like started the Patreon.
Yeah, because I remember I think Sam and I were like, yeah, Cole, the Twitter guy.
Yeah.
Cole Twitterman.
But then, you guys started the Patreon, so I hopped on there because I like supporting like stuff that I enjoy. And then you guys had the Discord, and you're like, hey, we are looking for someone to moderate. And I was like, I'll fucking do it. And you guys are like, yep, Twitterman will do it. So I did that for a little bit. And I think the way that I got to the show was because one of my best friends, Grayson Black, his birthday is 4 days prior to mine. And so we always try and like do something for each other. I bought him a shirt from like his favorite podcast, and he was going to do the same thing for me, which would have been y'all at the time.
Oh.
And I think he reached out to you guys, was like, hey, I'm buying this shirt, because I think he thought you guys all lived together. Or like lived in the same city. So you would get together to like record. So he didn't know, because he was like, hey, if I buy this, will you sign it and send it to me? It's for my buddy. And they're like, who's your buddy? And he was like, it's Cole Duncan. They're like, we have an idea. Hold on.
We all sent Cole dick pics.
It's true. It's true. I've held them as blackmail, or I tried to, and they were like, dude, we don't care. I was like, damn it. I have nothing anymore. This was my like retirement fund.
How weird would it be if, well, so first of all, Grayson Black is like the greatest pirate name of all time. But how weird would it have been if he was like, hey, can you guys sign this shirt? And we were like, oh no, we don't live anywhere near each other, but we'll do something better. And then we send Cole a dick pic, but it's all three of our dicks like, in the photo.
Like a Three Musketeers sword cross.
Yeah. All for one and one for Cole.
It's like, well, actually, I thought you guys.
That's funny too that he brought up the fact that he thought you guys lived together, because do you guys remember that long ass thread back in the Slack days where we talked about how fucking chaotic it would be if everyone lived in the same house together?
Oh, I do remember that. Man, that might be like so Nick Freda was on a roundtable that the listener will be hearing at a later date. But Nick was talking about the Slack as well, and I was having a really hard time remembering anything.
I can't envision the Slack in my head like at all. I forgot we had a Slack for such a long time.
But then Zach saying that just like unlocked something in my brain.
Well, so also speaking of Nick Freda and the Slack, Nick Freda was the one that did that excellent fucking Photoshop of Sam Porter Bridges holding me instead of the baby.
Oh, was that him?
No. It was you as Sam Porter Bridges holding Chris.
No. That was the one that
No, that was Sean.
That was the one that Sean did years later. This is back when there was only one Death Stranding commercial.
Oh, that's right. And you were in your military gear.
Yeah, it was me in my gear, and he photoshopped me in as the baby.
God bless. Yeah, Nick talked about how the Slack was like a real formative experience for him, and I felt really bad being like,
for not remembering.
I can't remember.
Too many memories. All these memories will be like tears in rain.
Oh no. And on that note, guys, everybody has a cyanide capsule on the back molar if you all want to just bite down at the same
Today's
time.
the day.
So I remember so we asked Cole first to be on the show. Zach, you were around this time. You were still in Moonbase Alpha at that point.
No. This was all right. So we could.
I forgot about Moonbase Alpha. Fuck.
Well, it was the.
Wait,
perfect...
were you getting your MBA? Is that what that's code for?
Damn, no, but that's fucking clever. Well, it was the perfect timing because I had moved to Sector C of Moonbase Alpha. I was in Cuba, so the fucking the time zones actually fucking worked out again as opposed to Afghanistan.
We talked about you being in Cuba on the Patreon, right?
Patriot Club, the Patriot
Club.
Yeah.
Because I had like the funny story about sending you like a Tommy Bahama shirt to fucking Cuba.
It was a Roosevelt.
Yeah, Roosevelt. Yeah.
On the main feed, it was always Moonbase Alpha, but we did say Cuba on the
Patriot Club.
I remember because Moonbase Alpha, that started when I was in Africa the year before.
Right, that's right.
When you guys had like mentioned me or something like that. And you're like, he's at Moon Base Alpha.
Well, and it's weird too because you were in Afghanistan, Africa, and then Cuba, and so we were like, yes, he's playing Metal Gear Solid 5 in reverse right now.
That was the thing about it, because the fact that you were in Cuba was like, I think we could ask Zach to do this, because if you were in Africa or Afghanistan still, you would have never been on this fucking podcast.
No.
Just because of the time difference.
Yeah, because I was 7 hours ahead in Africa and 8.5 hours ahead in Afghanistan.
Yeah, and trying to logistically make that work would have been a disaster.
Although, honestly, it wouldn't have been as bad because I worked the night shift, so I was during the day when you guys were up.
I like to imagine that given what we talked about earlier and now what we're talking about, that there's a listener somewhere who does not understand and thinks that Zach was the night janitor in all these different countries.
There's a Planet Fitness in Kabul that was very popular up until about 2.5 months ago.
They still only pay him $300 a week. It's real
weird.
I got paid Djiboutian francs when I was in Africa. The exchange rate was garbage.
Where's that money from?
East Africa.
But like,
more specific?
Yeah, can you be a little more specific?
No, don't triangulate his position.
In the Horn of Africa.
And
where within the Horn?
There's multiple countries, right?
Yeah, the one that's north of Somalia.
And that one is called.
It borders the Gulf of Tajura.
No,
I know what you're talking about. It's just a box. I'm gonna fucking
no. I feel like it's like on the tip of my tongue. I just need
a refresher.
Yeah, I need just something. Yeah.
Like we get what's bordering it, but like, what is it called?
Is it a J name? No.
Oh, are you talking about Djibouti?
Yeah.
Where?
One more time though.
So Djibouti crawled up into Djibouti.
So there I was.
I'm getting every fucking bit out.
Every bit that we can do. So,
well, in that case, Bubby, we gotta break out the
we gotta break out the Bubby.
We've got to, Bubby.
That a lot of people hated for some reason, Bubby.
I literally
feel like I'm doing a
why.
sociological, like I'm doing an anthropology project right now.
Alessio's got a fucking spiral notepad. It just says Djibouti underlined, arrow to Bubby. Question mark circled 3 times.
Another arrow, profit.
Yeah.
And underneath is just Sigma mindset circled 4 times.
No. And then a Planet Fitness logo sketched in the top right.
Stick Semper Tyrannis in quotations with a big question mark.
$300 parentheses plus question mark and parentheses.
it's Alessio with just one big like Pepe Sylvia board.
So actually I misremembered the timeline a little bit because I didn't realize that Zach would be able to record because he was in Cuba. So we reached out to Cole first. We had that Alessio and I had that phone call with him. He was like, "Yeah, cool." And then
he said, "Yeah, Cole."
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, Cole.
Yeah, Cole. I'm a Pokemon actually. I've been hiding.
Cole
this entire
says
time.
"cool" with a little bit of an accent. He says "Cole."
Cole.
And we never quite know if he's saying his own name like a Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you guys were cool with it.
Shut up.
Is it not cool to do this?
Oh my god, we're never gonna get this podcast. This is what my life is like. This is what it was like then. This is what it's like now because I'm still doing shit with these fuckheads.
I'm so sorry.
So this was we got our team together for the Death Stranding season. Chris was part of that too. And so Cole and I recorded a couple episodes of like pre Death Stranding like theory shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach and Chris joined us for like
fun anecdote about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna get there. Are you talking about the apartment stuff?
Yeah. So
yeah, I was gonna get there. I was gonna get there. Hang on.
Yeah.
So Zach and Chris would join us for like the actual gameplay stuff, but Cole and I, we were kind of getting more acclimated to each other and chatting and getting our stuff scheduled. And then I'm leaving work to go home to get ready to record the first Death Stranding theory episode with Cole, just me and Cole. And I get
I
a phone
can't
call.
not hear it now.
I get a phone call, and Alessio, I have the voicemail saved, and I will send it to you.
Do you really?
I absolutely do. It's in my Google Drive because I needed to keep it forever. But I get a voicemail from Cole, and Alessio, I would like you to cue that here.
Yeah, we're out. Yeah, we're all out. Hey, buddy, if you can hear me, there's a fire at the other apartment right next to mine. So I might be late to record this podcast, or all my shit might have been destroyed. I don't know. Hopefully not the latter. But it's raging. So I'll keep you updated. See ya.
So Cole's apartment was on fire.
Yeah. I literally had maybe moved in, I don't know, not even a month into this place. Like I just got back to Chattanooga. And like I think all I had in that apartment at the time was like my TV, my like Switch, a box of books, an air mattress, and a pillow. And that was it. It was quite possibly the most depressing looking living situation known to man. So, but it kind of worked out because I'm like, if it burns down, I'm not losing a ton.
Yeah.
I
But
would say the most valuable thing you would have lost would be the box of books.
probably. But what's funny about that is like that was the first time. Well, not the first time, but like the first like time that I was actually like a member of the cast for the show. And I'm actually like my final day, like the walkout, turn the keys in to that place is Monday.
Yeah.
Like this Monday.
It's actually,
like this coming.
The coincidence of Monday is amazing.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny because when I went to Tennessee, I actually got to see that apartment and where the fire was. So that was a cool full circle moment. But yeah, that's how
Cole.
That's how like
God damn it!
It was a Cole moment.
Now I can't unhear it either.
So it was actually really funny because like he was like, yeah, I might be a couple hours late, and I was like, let's just fucking reschedule. What the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't want to like, mess up the flow. I didn't know.
So when I asked Zach, I actually was also leaving work. I was driving home from work again, and I actually live on the street that I was driving down when I called Zach now, which is interesting. But I called Zach and was like, hey, we're doing this for Death Stranding. Do you want to be a part of it? He was like, yeah. And we were talking about like, his plan to potentially go back to school, which he did, and all this other stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, the timing works out that I could do this. So I was like, fucking awesome. And so we did. And yeah, that's kind of like how we got started. And then
we played fucking Death Stranding.
Oh. Hey, real quick before we get on a downer note.
No, we're
I just want to say that like for me, the shift over. I think the very last thing that I did with Sam for the podcast was obviously we recorded our like Death Stranding first impressions or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like we played the first like couple hours of it and like released the weekend or the week it came out.
Mm-hmm. But I just want to plant a flag for the listeners that like I took the day off of the only time I've ever taken a day off of work for a video game was I took a day off of work for the Death Stranding release.
Mm-hmm.
And like 100%, one of my favorite memories of this show altogether was I think I just streamed Death Stranding for like 8 hours. Off of my PS4.
Yeah, for the YouTube channel, right? You streamed
yeah, and just like interacting with people who I didn't know I would become friends with through the Discord 2 years later.
Yeah,
was super fucking cool. So I just want to give a shout out to anybody who chatted or watched way back when. That was a lot of fun.
I think wasn't I like in the opening minutes of one of those for you?
Yeah,
before I had to go to bed.
Yeah. I think you jumped in just to be like, hey, what's up? All right, I gotta go.
I hopped in there for a little bit, but then I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually go play this game now because it's finally done downloading.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me too. Sam has a video somewhere. I don't think I have it saved anymore. Where I was in a chat with him while he was playing, and Sam, it was the one where you got fucking stuck in the crevasse.
Oh yeah. I have those. I think.
And
I think I uploaded those to YouTube. I just don't know. They're in there somewhere, definitely.
And Sam's like, I'm stuck, and then you just hear me over the chat going, oh no. Oh, I just lost all my fucking cargo.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh no, my bike.
What happened to your bike?
Oh no, I just lost all my fucking cargo. I didn't realize that stream was that deep.
Oh shit. So we started
chaos all around in that clip.
Lots of chaos. So we started playing Death Stranding. It was me, Zach, Cole, and Chris that were playing Death Stranding, and it was kind of like a weird like journey because like it was weird because like okay, so as the game started, and so we were all like, okay, let's get into this. This is good. Zach very quickly was just like, this is bullshit.
He's like, I don't like this. I hate this.
Zach was the first one of us that kind of like trended that way.
Oh, Alessio knows full well because I would text him.
Oh yeah. He like, I think at one point Zach called me and was like, "What the fuck is this?" Hey, for the record, I like for some reason I enjoy playing this dumb fucking game. Like from like a let me position my boxes. I'm a dad going camping.
Well, here's the thing that I think we all agreed on was that like the gameplay, like actually just like walking and like delivering stuff was actually pretty cool. That was
it was nice.
With the exception of the unnecessary fucking slow-mo.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, every time you got spotted or like the
every
BTs.
Time it rained, every time you got spotted, every time you picked up a fucking bug.
Well, they let you skip that apparently in a patch.
Oh, now. Good.
I remember the patch came out like right after I finished the game, and I was like,
"Yeah, it's like
well, not to get on too much of a tangent. I just got one point. So I saw
Zach James not getting on a tangent
shut the fuck up, Cole. For the director's cut, they added a thing where they're like jet thrusters now, so if you fucking yeet yourself off a cliff, you just float to the ground.
Yeah, I actually don't like any of the things that they added with the director's cut.
I agree.
Like it kind of like I was reading that somebody was complaining that like now you just can't play the original game on like modern hardware because like if you want to play on a PS5, you're like you either have to just go buy the original or you're fucked because you can't turn off the new shit. It's just like woven in.
Oh, what?
Oh, God.
That's gross.
Yeah, pretty shitty.
Don't like that. But yeah, so like I said, Zach was very, very quickly like, this is bullshit train. I don't remember when it clicked for me, but I was the second to join that train.
I was holding out hope for a long time.
Cole was holding on hard. So for a long time on the show, if you listen,
Cole Hardman.
Cole Hardman. It was like me and Zach were like, this sucks, and Cole and Chris were like, this is fine. And then towards the end, Cole finally shifted over, and I
remember when it was.
What happened?
It was the bullshit like you finally got to the like other side of the country, and it's like,
oh dude,
oh yeah, by the way, Mario, your princess is in a different castle. Bullshit that they pulled. I was like,
Mario and Princess Beach.
Shut the fuck up.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? I have to walk back. I have to fucking walk back.
And not only that, but hey, every third way we're gonna take away more of your shit. So you know how you like sort of streamlined yourself to not need all this shit because you were gonna rely on the chiral network? Oh, we just took that away.
Yeah. So I honestly don't think Chris ever like flipped over. I think
the real Death Stranding was the friends we made along the way.
Stop, fucking stop.
Well, Chris not only never flipped over to the dark side, but he also fucking played through that game twice pretty much because his file got corrupted, remember?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And so he was a trooper and just completely went through. It was like, I guess I got to play it again.
Hell yeah.
Here's what I'll give.
I got to give kudos to him because I would have fucking quit. I'd be like, I'm watching on YouTube. Fuck it.
Here's what I'll give it. I think that the nature of the show kind of, because we had some pretty tough deadlines.
Yeah, I 100% don't think you guys should have slammed through it as fast as you did.
Yeah, and we did. We slammed
agree.
through it. We slammed through it pretty fucking quickly. And I think
we were doing
that,
like
we were doing like
7 to 8
chapters.
hours worth of game for
and
episode.
I think and I remember the reason why we did that was because we were getting close, because we were going to be encroaching into Christmas time with it, and I was going to be out of town for 2 weeks.
Once again, we're getting through all these bits.
Yeah, I was going to be gone for 2 weeks, and so it was just we need to fuck it. We this is something this is a topical thing. We need to get through this. We don't want to wait until the new year to start Death Stranding or finish Death Stranding. So let's just crunch it before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And then we also folded in the Tommy Earl Jenkins interview into there too. And it was just
I'm
this.
Still so angry at my computer about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't even get to that one either because I had to work that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I just remembered. I just remembered one other thing that I think I texted Alessio about, just filled with rage. Was once I finished the game and there was not one, not two, not three, but 4 fucking end credit sequences.
Yeah, there were so many end credit sequences. It was just
it's a Kojima game. You have to. You were expecting that.
Well, that's not even there's not been a Metal Gear Solid game that's had that many credit sequences.
I don't think there's a Metal Gear that's had more than 1 credit sequence.
Yeah, I think you're.
Unless you count all the fucking opening credits in 5.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you sit there on a fucking beach that you can't do anything on for 45 fucking minutes.
So I've never had an avenue to vent this, but I just need everyone on the planet to know. And I think this is what I told Zach as soon as I think we hopped on a call. I was so angry. But never in my life have I gone from oh, this is a B-. Fuck it, man. This is an A+. I have a tear in my eye. Holy fuck, this is an F. Okay, it's a C. Okay, it's a B+. Motherfucker, it's an F. I remember
that. I remember that exact conversation.
Yeah, I had this conversation with him too.
I lost my mind.
Things, I think that if, I said, I think for the show, I think we wouldn't have been quite as abrupt with our "this is bullshit" if. Well, maybe Zach was, because Zach was very quick to realize it was he didn't like it.
Well, because there was it took away so much player agency, and you guys, I am on record with saying that I can't fucking stand artificial padding, and that's 85% of this fucking game.
Well, it was a 2-hour narrative spread out across a 50-hour game.
And again, and we were very clear about this in the episodes for it, but Cliff, all that stuff with Cliff. Awesome,
dope, super dope.
I would gladly watch a fucking movie about that.
Well, they could have knocked it out. No joke, that entire story could have been knocked out in a 45-minute TV show episode.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you want to know something too? Is I think if it would have so you get to the other side of the country. I think if Higgs was actually the big bad, that was the end of it.
Yeah,
I'm on record
as that stupid fucking whale.
Oh my god, the fucking whale! I really liked the Higgs chapter. I really liked the final battle with him, and then it just kept going. It reached this weird catharsis, and then it kept going, and it didn't need to. I will also say I'm on record as the performance that Tommy did at the end.
Oh, it's phenomenal!
Crying and stuff like that is awesome.
Oh yeah,
really amazing.
And I think they could have kept that in there if they would have ended it sooner. But they just shoved so much more in after that. It was just it was a sigh of relief, and it was an emotional catharsis. But they it didn't feel like a payoff because they just kept fucking going.
Well, I remember the 2 other things that I had mentioned to Alessio was the fucking just the overbearing use of the fucking imagery to the point where it wasn't even an analogy anymore of you're Sam Porter Bridges, you work for Bridges, you have to connect the country, this is your fucking strand, it's got your blood, and then
well, and that's why prior to the game releasing I was on a fucking tear being dude, if it's not some like post-apocalyptic, we don't have any names anymore, so we're just gonna call you what you do, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if he's named Sam Porter Bridges. And then he was, and I was like, fuck everything.
And then the other thing that fucking just, I was like, I'm so fucking done with this game, was at the very end when you have to take BB up to the incinerator, and it had the potential to be this beautiful,
it was
heartfelt send-off where it plays BB's theme as you're walking, but the timing was all fucked up. So it like, because I like started getting emotional as I was walking and it's playing, and then it ends, and I still have like 5 or 6 minutes to just walk with nothing going on.
Yeah.
It was like, this is beautiful. This is a perfect send-off. Oh, what the fuck?
I also will say too, as I think I mentioned this in the episode, but like I actually did, and again, it plays to that whole like they had a chance to have like a really emotional like sigh of relief, catharsis ending to it, because I remember when I was going to connect the last point that you needed to do before you got to the Higgs chapter. I remember going like sneaking past some mules and like getting through the hill, and then like going and cresting a hill, and like it's downhill and you can see the water, and like there's your goal and like you can see it. And then I remember Low Roar comes in and it's just playing, and I got like I started tearing up. Like I was like, holy fuck, I'm here. That's
the best thing that came out of this game, was fucking knowing about Low Roar.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But like I remember just like tearing up, and I remember like this was after the point where I was just like this game is bullshit. But like I had hit that point, and then it hit me with this like beautiful visual, and it like hit me with this like, oh, the finish line is right there, and I got emotional because it deserved that. And then it just, like I said, it just kept going.
And then there was an hour and a half left before the end credits, the first of the end credit sequence.
I got a controversial
the soundtrack was
take.
Also really good too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Controversial hot take. Higgs fucking sucks. Like, I think, and I don't mean like
because he wasn't implemented the best way he could have been.
Well, yeah, like right. I don't mean like Higgs sucks as in like, oh man, he made me carry all this bullshit. I learned more about Higgs by finding the entrance to his little hideout.
Oh my god, that was another thing about that game.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I learned more about that character there. So like when he died, I was like, okay, like what the fuck is this? Like I felt zero connection to that character. Yeah. Like it was like cartoon villain.
Well, and again, because he wasn't honestly, what Higgs should have been an ever-present fucking malicious force.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Well, listen,
where you look and he was like G-Man from Half-Life.
Oh, yeah, well, that was I was going to bring up
because line or something.
Because you remember in Chapter 3 when he was the employee that gave you the fucking bomb. That was cool as shit.
He was the employee.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. It wasn't obvious at all.
Yeah. What do you?
Well, that's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. Like I thought that was cool, and I know it was obvious, but that's fine because if they would have kept doing shit like that, or if he would have been like watching you the entire time, or like you said, like G-Man, that would have been a great way to play him off and right. Play him as like this, like you said, this.
Or like how cool would it have been if he had like a voice modulator so he could sound like one of the other characters. And be like, oh, you need to make delivery here, and then you end up in like an ambush or something.
Yeah. How fucking weird is it that this game's 60 hours, there's only like 2 hours of cutscenes, and yet somehow nothing got developed?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Things got developed in the fucking emails.
The
voice messages that you couldn't listen to while you were walking.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to make this fucking long-ass game about walking. What should we do to do our world building? Should we do audio logs like we did in Phantom Pain? No, you fucking idiot. We're going to give him emails. What, are you stupid?
And that's the thing is like audio logs, like Phantom Pain did audio logs cool because like that was another game where it was just like you were doing a lot that didn't involve cutscenes for long periods of time, but you could fill your time with the audio logs and like listen while you were going. And if this game would have done that, it would have been that much better.
You know, where audio logs would have been good? During the 3 real life hours it took me to deliver Mama to the fucking mountain.
Oh my god. So yeah.
Alessio, it wasn't amazing. It was a waste of time.
I like that we just had like a mini post-mortem on
we really
Death Stranding.
we just kind of let everything go.
I've got a fucking stress headache now.
Well, and kudos to you guys though, for real, because like I know. So for all intents and purposes, I know like every time we've had a configuration of hosts on this show, eventually everybody kind of falls away. And I have been sort of like, I guess, like executive producing the last like 2 years on and off of the show, or however long it's been without any of the four of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just say like the number of people that were super active in the Discord who like discovered the show because of Death Stranding and really liked you guys' season on Death Stranding, but then also the season afterwards on like Blade Runner and all the other stuff. I mean, they really dig it and they really dug it and they really enjoyed listening to you guys. So like,
appreciate that.
Fucking kudos to you guys for doing a really good job.
Oh, thanks, man.
And so
that's really cool of you to say.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And here
I'm gonna start calling you
ruining the moment, Duncan.
I love that we started a new bit on
on the last
final
one.
episode. Yeah. God damn it!
This is our legacy.
Only
we can't pass on our genes, so we'll pass on this meme.
only the coolest kids know.
That's the final T-shirt. Just a black T-shirt, white text.
The coolest kids.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna think it's a typo.
But it's not, fuckers. So yeah, so that's that. I want to get us kind of close to wrapped up now. But because I texted Zach and Cole a little bit earlier. I was like, I don't want it to be too negative because it's a celebration of Metal Gear Mondays and blah blah blah, all sorts of stuff like that. But I'm gonna do a thing for the both of you right now. I'm gonna give you some niceness. I'm going to give each of you a minute to rant about a specific topic, and I'll give you the topic.
Amazing.
I'm going to start with Zach. I'm going to give you exactly 1 minute. I'm going to time it. Exactly 1 minute to rant about your. I'm going to start the timer when I say go is when your timer starts. I'm going to give you 1 minute to rant and say whatever the fuck you want about your true feelings about Hideo Kojima, Zach. And that I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go.
Don't do it,
he's
Zach.
He's a fucking hack. I mean, he's a terrible storyteller, as evidenced by fucking Death Stranding. And retrospectively going back to Metal Gear... All right, Metal Gear Solid 1 is okay. Metal Gear Solid 2 is... Metal Gear Solid 3 is a Wikipedia page regurgitated by a fucking 6th grader. Metal Gear Solid 4 is fucking terrible. Metal Gear Solid 5 is fun to play, but the story is good. He's terrible. He likens himself to be fucking Quentin Tarantino because he thinks he's fucking deep, but he's got a third-grade understanding of fucking Nietzsche and what it means to be fucking connected. He should stick with making movies instead of fucking video games.
But he never made a movie.
That's what I'm saying. He should make fucking movies instead of video games.
Don't push him onto us.
Him and Tarantino can get together and make a fucking 16-hour epic, and it requires 14 intermissions.
Tarantino's so much better than Kojima.
What?
Tarantino is like on a whole other, like you're comparing like a fucking sandwich that your mom
made
to a sandwich.
Sam, let it go. Sam, let it go.
Time. Thank you, Zach. Cole.
The chairman of the floor will recognize my 14 seconds.
If you want 14 more seconds,
no.
I want 14 more seconds personally.
Yeah, I defer my 14 seconds to Cole.
No. I'm saying I want 14 more seconds
of what he was yelling about.
Yes.
Okay, Cole.
Yeah.
And Alessio, I'm going to need your assistance in this because I'm going to need you to bleep a name.
Are we double teaming Cole right now?
No.
I left my good pants upstairs. Hold on.
Yes, you need to give Cole my extra 14 seconds for this one. This will be good.
Because I think you see
maybe all I need
going.
is 14 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think
so. Cole, I'm gonna give you a minute and 14 seconds. So you're gonna get to claim Zach's 14 seconds that he did not utilize. So like I said, Alessio, I need you to bleep. If he says this person's name, I need you to bleep it.
And I will.
People.
But just for some context, some history about this show. On the Facebook page a couple of years ago, somebody commented on that page and called us, I think it was Kojima Cockwriters Podcast.
Mhm.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And one
Yes.
of the goofs on the Patriot Club for such a long time was that we would just rant about this person.
Let the hatred flow.
No, like
Yes.
that's how we would close it.
Yeah, and I would always get so fucking mad at you because I'd have to bleep it every time.
Do it.
And
But did you
and
guys
so-
write his cock?
no, we
Do I
didn't.
sound like someone that would ride fucking Kojima's cock?
Yeah.
Is that
my
why? Hold
rant-
on.
After
Is
my
that
was
why
my,
rant-
like,
so mad? Because
my-
Zach feels like he has to downplay the stereotype.
In my detailed response to this person, I definitely I illustrated that we actually talk a lot of shit about Kojima a lot in the podcast historically. And so I want to give Cole his minute and 14 seconds to rant about and I'll ask you to bleep this because I'm going to say the name. I'm going to give you a minute and 14 seconds to rant about Cole in 3, 2, 1, go.
You can ride this dick, you Georgian, no mustache having, Abraham looking dumb fuck. Fuck you. Fuck everything about you. You fucking suck. Your haircut looks like it was a fucking toupee from the 18 goddamn 60s. Fuck you. You realize that I know where you live? You're like maybe 2 hours away from me. If we want to throw hands, it can fucking happen, you shitty little fuck. Fuck you. Oh my god, you are the slimiest, lowest, smallest human being on the face of the planet. I literally said to my girlfriend today, I'm not gonna fucking lay into him. I'm not gonna say it because he's nothing to me and I've got so much going for me. But you know what? It's just the fact that you exist that hurts me. Just you're stealing not only my air, but like plenty of amazing other people's air. Fuck you. I yield my time. Fuck you.
All right, that was a minute and 6
Whoa.
seconds. So
Whoa.
you didn't use all the time.
Oh,
You
8
used-
seconds. All right, give me 8 more seconds about Kojima.
All right.
Hey,
Eight
hold
more
on.
What?
You get your 8 more seconds if you quit putting Tarantino's name anywhere near Kojima.
That's the caveat, Zach.
All right,
You
I
get
can
8
do
more
that.
seconds in 3, 2, 1, go.
And another thing. I didn't actually have 8 more seconds.
So I told these guys in the text message that this wasn't going to happen, but I wanted to give you a little treat since we were getting sent off.
Yeah.
And,
I feel like I just went to the fucking spa. Jesus Christ.
Sam, you got something for me?
I was gonna say I don't know. I was gonna give you a minute to rant about whatever you wanted, if you'd like
Okay.
to, because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
a
I'll take
specific
it.
topic for you. But Alessio, freeform jazz in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so here's the deal. Just because we've had a couple episodes in the past where we have said that we were taking a break is the key word, motherfucker. The podcast has not ended 4 times before, you son of a bitch. It's ending in 2 weeks. So please quit saying, oh, these fucking guys, they're going to be back in a couple of weeks. No, it's done. It's done.
You still got plenty of time. You got 15 more seconds.
Did we lose him?
Did Alessio die?
You didn't lose me, motherfucker. I'm going to rant about that now. No.
I actually don't have anything to rant about. I just wanted to give these guys the floor.
you.
I've got
Okay.
something for you.
Yeah, hold up.
Oh,
Hold up.
okay,
God.
go
Oh,
for
God.
it, Cole.
Actually, I don't know if
Three-
I can say this. I don't know if I can say it. Yeah, I definitely can't.
Samuel,
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to rant
Uh-huh.
about.
Uh-huh.
You got to move.
Oh,
fucking K. I'm gonna. Do you want to time me or?
Yeah, I'm going, dude. I
oh,
said
this
let's
is
go.
great.
Oh shit. Okay, so here's the fucking thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Had like fucking no. Twitter. He fucking that made me.
And
I
it's
was
time.
perfect. So yeah, so that is kind of like well, let's kind of drive to a close here. I'm on this episode, this segment, this 1.5 segment with three of my best friends on this earth, and that is because of Metal Gear Mondays. And so I'll always have that, and I'm very appreciative for it.
Yeah. Thank you, Alessio and Sam, for like making this, because if you hadn't, I wouldn't have met any of you, and my life would be impoverished without knowing any of you guys. So thank you.
Oh. Guys, we'll always have Shadow Moses.
I want to take this opportunity really quickly to give the two of you, because I'll say my thing. YouTube.com/Sam vs. Sam. You can catch Zach and Cole on that channel very frequently. Alessio's been on several times and will continue to be on as long as he will agree to do it.
Actually, this is awkward, but
Alessio, we need to get you on a vidcast on there too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right. Word.
Yeah. So that's that. I want to give specifically Zach, because Cole, I don't know if you have anything to pimp or promote, but Zach has some stuff to pimp and promote for sure. So I'll give you two. I'll start with Zach, and I'll give you two an opportunity to like promote your social stuff and what you're doing.
Thank you very much, Sam. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at author Zach James. And in the interim, since I've left the show, I've actually finally accomplished one of my childhood dreams of becoming an author. I released my first book, which is Deception. It is the first book in the modern mercenary thriller series, so it's very Tom Clancy-esque. Or if you like Tom Clancy, Brad Thor, Jack Carr, it's all in that line of military thriller espionage. And that is on Amazon by Zach James. So yeah, I remember when you guys first had me on, I was talking about like the first draft of Persona non grata, which I'm on the final fucking edition for finally.
Nice.
But yeah, so I've accomplished that dream, and it's been awesome to sort of keep these guys updated as it's gone on. I remember back in like June, I think Alessio and I had like an hour and a half long conversation about the beginnings of the arduous process of possibly moving it from text to screen eventually.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that.
That was a long discussion.
And I will say,
that was a good one, though. It was extremely informative. And I apologize, Sam. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as somebody, and I wrote this review on the Amazon page for the book, but as somebody who does not typically read or necessarily enjoy military thrillers, they're just not typically my thing. I read Zach's book and I really enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend Deception. I have 2 copies of it on my bookshelf.
Zach, you also have a very handsome biography photo that looks like it's drawn by somebody that we know.
Oh yes. That's
T.O.
by
Alex.
T.O. Alex. And actually, I just hit him up for to do another one of those for me, because I'm going to do a new one for every book release.
Nice.
Because book number 2 I have slated for an April release. So
big shouts out to that too.
So,
I've still got that artwork like in my office, like looking at it right now.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of artists. We've had a lot of artists that have done stuff for us. So T.O. Alex art on Instagram.
Big shouts out to Sean.
Big shouts out. Sean Wilkins.
And also T Off TV, because he's the one that did the Shinkawa style bust of the 4 of us.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
And then Sean, and I'm sure they'll shout out Sean on the 2.0, but I want to give
for sure go give Sean some love.
Yeah.
Like he's a member of the community. Like that dude does amazing work. Go
1000%.
The Scratch Kid. The Scratch Kid on Instagram, and I believe that's also his Twitch. But
It is.
Because
it's funny, because I'll sometimes catch him when he's on there, and it just shifts to him talking shit to me and me talking shit back away.
And then Cole, do you have anything you want anywhere you want them to find you? They can find you, promote.
All my socials are still there. I'm not on most of them. It's a fucking graveyard. If you want, you can follow me on Subterranean Homesick Brews on Instagram. Yeah.
And you can watch his evolution into a fucking rock climbing bro like Isaac.
It's really fun. Yeah, come watch me like climb. Watch me climb rocks and then post about like dumb industry shit. So, yeah.
You and Isaac need to just like flex on a mountain together.
Yeah.
I want that picture to happen.
Yeah, and then I mean it's doable. I mean, Cole's like 2 something hours away from Isaac.
Yeah,
Really.
If Isaac wants to go climb sometime, I'm fully down.
I am willing to bet money here that Isaac is willing to climb a lot of the time.
Okay.
and then of course, AlessioSummerfield.com.
Hey,
for our friend Alessio.
Zach,
gentlemen,
I have a question for you real quick. Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
For our friends.
Wow.
For our friends out there who want to give you the most amount of money when they buy your book, what is the best way to buy the book to make sure that you get a large portion of the funds?
So I get the majority of the royalties from the Kindle edition, and I appreciate that. But I did not write this to make money. I just do it because I love it. So if you want to buy the Kindle edition, I appreciate it. If you buy the paperback, I appreciate that too. And the audio book should be out by the time this is released as well. But yeah, the most return for me is the Kindle edition. But there's no physical printing. Just any fucking purchase helps me out, and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job, and I appreciate that regardless.
So buy all 3.
Well, and I was going to say, Sam, if you want to complete the trifecta, the second edition of Deception will be out by the time this comes out too, with the glossary in the back.
Perfect.
So if you want 3 copies,
3 copies, author approved, first edition, second edition. Feed it to me, baby. Oh my god. So as we drift away from our final episode together, Metal Gear Mondays 1.5, I want to thank Zach and Cole for being a part of this with me. I want to thank Chris for being a part of this with us as well. I want to thank Alessio for coming up with the idea initially as well, and kind of being my creative partner for the last decade plus and doing all kinds of goofy shit with me the entire time. And to leave us with kind of like a final sentiment, this podcast has done a lot for us. And I just it's just like we have a connection or something.
Oh God!
Oh no! Woe is me!
I thought you were gonna do like the old school send off. Fuck!
No, that's our send off. That's our fucking legacy. Stop the podcast!
Oh God! Oh, I hate it.
Oh. Love it. Do you guys know that Hideo Kojima's putting a book out?
Fuck off.
I'm gonna go get a drink. Fuck this.
What have you got there? A cardboard box? Yeah. Remember that trick?
This is the conclusion of part 1 of 4 of the death of Metal Gear Mondays. What is Dead May Never Die, and I have been your host.
What's Dead May Never Die? I love that song.
Cue the double bass. Nice. So what do you want the listeners to think about between episode 1 and episode 2? It's weird because COVID and death and concluding, I know we're not in a good headspace to be kicking that ball around, but I do have one thing I do want to say though.
What is that?
What I have to say is Sam Bright. I found it. I found the fan fiction.
Oh no.
No way.
Okay, I have to ask you. You can read it. You can share it with Isaac. Please do not share this fan fiction publicly with anybody. No. And also, you have to bleep out the username. No!
I have found you.
Oh God!
They make it really hard to search by date. I had to fucking manually click through so much.
Yeah,
I
knew it was over for me when I started talking about the dates.
Yeah, you kind of revealed a lot.
Yeah.
And as soon as I clicked reviews, I was like, they gave it away.
There.
Sam, it's 46 chapters, my dude.
I fucking know.
Dude, you went hard.
I did.
In more ways than one.
Oh my God.
Sam, you got to finish it, Sam.
I don't. Crazy. I really don't. I was 14 years old when I wrote this fan fiction.
Here's my favorite line.
Oh no. Oh God. Oh God.
No. It's not what you think it is.
Okay.
Donald and Goofy nod in agreement. That's the whole line.
What?
My secret shames come to roost after all these fucking years.
Man.
Oh,
I love it.
14 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I found it.
God damn it.
I'm so happy. All right. This is all I wanted.
Oh boy. All right.
Guys, this podcast was 100% just a ruse for me to get this.
All right, I'm gonna go jump off a cliff now. Bye.
Hey, you should drop that link.
My favorite is that Sam's acting all bashful, but Isaac, in like 3 months, he's gonna text us and be like, "So, what'd you think of the story?"
You're goddamn right I am. 14-year-old me needs fulfillment.
Sam, what would you rather them think about?
That's what I like them to think about. I would like them to think about. You know what? Think about, like, if you could write a book about anything at all, what would you write about? What would be your pièce de résistance? What would be your subject? Can be nonfiction, can be fiction. What do you want? What would you write about if you were just sit down and write a book right now?
I'm just thankful that we don't have to say, I would want the reader, or I would want the listeners to consider giving us money at patreon.com/Monday. We don't have to do that anymore, so that's pretty cool.
Don't do that. Don't give us money anymore.
Yeah.
We're not making content for you anymore.
I feel really bad. There was somebody I was posting the farewell promo on Patreon today, and I felt really bad because somebody patronized in mid-September. And I'm like, so I kept joking, like, we should just throw their name around and be like, yeah, because they patronized, we're shutting it all down. But no, yeah. So instead of patronizing us, you can be patronizing to us, but these things that we're telling you to think about, send us a tweet if you thought about it. Isaac, what do you want them to think about? Do you want them to think about your tweet? Are you going to tweet right now?
I don't even know how to log back in. I don't know my password.
Forgot password. Say.
I don't know what email it's tied to.
Oh no! Forgot email.
Forgotten.
At doesn't have a twit should just be like at never had a twit.
Was it all a dream? What's a song that really brings back? It can be any emotion, but like some intense emotions for you.
I'm gonna yes and that. Does anybody have a song that that makes them erect? I don't know. Is that a human? Is there a human somewhere that can listen to a song and be like, yes?
Write us in.
Yeah, right. Please
let us know. Tell us about your erections. I guarantee you that's a thing. Like, I guarantee.
Oh, 100%.
Like humans are we are Pavlovian in nature. You can be conditioned to have a reaction of anything to anything. And I'm sure if you listen to a song enough times while you're doing something that would cause an erection, just hearing that song would create an instant response. So I love guarantee.
I love the idea of somebody being like, I can only pleasure myself when this song is playing.
Oh, no.
Why do I always hear The Boys Are Back in Town coming out of your bedroom?
I love that song.
I'm really sad that nobody pitched this idea. I respectfully would like to inquire that the listener please consider that it's just a box.
Just a box.
Shrink.
Sorry.
Tramp.
Oh. Tramp.
We're 11 7 minutes in and I'm crying.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
From the top.
Scramp!